It's actually going to be better. Smarter, they say.
Hadrian's Wall failed for a reason.
It's Wednesday, my dudes. Welcome to Perspective Check. This is episode 10, I think. I think this is 10 times we've recorded now.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so welcome. Hope you guys like it. This is our game of D&D that we've been playing for well over a year, coming up on 2 or too much longer.
What's up, Shannon? He's probably not watching. Yo! Hey, yo! Hey, Pat!
Yo, Matt.
I need help moving my couch.
Matt, shout out for Nocturnum. Corgat, baby.
Anyways, yeah. So this is our homebrew game of D&D. We hope you guys enjoy it. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
My player.
I mean, I don't enjoy it.
So
I'll play that player against the D&D.
I'd have to change the stream setup. That's too much work. Guys.
There was a lot of hair talk.
What?
Haircut talk.
Hair talk.
I need a haircut.
Can we get haircuts?
I actually
in
also
D&D
need
today?
a haircut. I was going to today.
No, we're not. We're not. No shops today. No more shopping.
Only if Tim gets an undercut because he has a very full head of hair and it'll probably look pretty good.
Dude, that'd be pretty cool, actually. We should do it.
Alright, we should probably eventually.
Guys,
I'll cut it.
on the last exciting episode of Dungeons and Dragon Ball Z.
All the dragon stuff.
Our intrepid band of adventurers, Nocturnum, after returning from from Mount Celestia, a extraplanar realm of existence, once the realm of the now dead Platinum Dragon. Our group returned to Kelisari, and after having disagreements and after having been discovered as carrying an ancient artifact that put the Elven City in danger to begin with, there was a disagreement between them and the Empress, leaving on a sour note. However, the group finds themselves now in a very pressing situation. The leader of the Order of Discord, a criminal organization based here in Kelisari, has threatened the group after they had cost the organization a bounty worth quite a lot of money in an attempt to assassinate the Empress. In order to force them into comply, they threatened Sindal's father that if they don't work with them, then he will fall into bodily harm. Agreeing to the contract, the group is now tasked with traveling to Nark, a city to the west, the most ancient city on the continent. There they'll have to go and find a gold mine that is operated by the Order, that something has caused the workers to stop working. They're to go and investigate the mine, figure out exactly what's happening, and deal with whatever that problem is. So, finishing up some business in town, the group started to travel west with the army of Nark.
After incredibly awesome mind-altering Gios.
That's true. Sindal did cast Gios on one of the leader's minions and told him to kill his master and take his place. But, leaving before anything could really occur from that, the group traveled west. Along the way, there was shenanigans with the casting of a dream spell between Lily and Korak.
Had a real dream
How did that turn out?
I had a real dream
Lily,
about that.
He actually has a fear now of losing his alchemy jug. He
Lily
sleeps
used-
with it in his arms.
Lily used dream to cause Korak to see Lily sitting high up on a stool out of his reach. No matter how hard he tried, he could not reach her, and she just sat and taunted him as she drank from his alchemy jug. One of his worst nightmares come true. Alcohol that he could not reach. Also along the way, Sindal, surprising me and the rest of the group, cast a new spell, one that I didn't even know existed, called Legend Lore, on a tome that he had been carrying for quite some time now. He cast it on his own, away from the group, and it was revealed that he's not quite sure exactly what it is, but he carries the Tome of Vile Darkness. Continuing to travel west, some of the army began to split off, return to the Baronries, and bannermen returning to their homes after the war. We arrived, cresting over a hilltop, seeing Nark in the distance, and we're going to roll back traveling a little bit, because I actually have things written down now.
Ooh, nice.
And that is basically where we left off with our adventure. So,
It's another spell I got.
before,
Uh-huh.
as you were coming up to seeing the city, I need everybody go ahead and roll me history checks.
History.
Sorry, I was doing shit related to my schedule for work just changing.
We're playing D&D, Lily. Come on! Come on!
I didn't know you had a job, Lily.
He
doesn't tell you about it every time you talk to him?
motherfucking badass.
You say history?
Yeah.
Alright. Oh, 9.
7.
I don't know.
10. 18.
Should I use
5.
luck?
Wait. 8.
Fenrir got 2. Well, plus 70, so
Yeah,
yeah,
right?
70. Yeah.
He knows everything that has ever been known.
Oh,
But
also,
he keeps it to himself.
But because he
keeps it-
shouldn't say that stuff out loud, that he
The
knows.
knowledge of good and evil, you can't just blurt out to everyone.
Yeah.
He's watching us right now, and he's really pissed off at you.
also, we are missing our Fenrir tonight, so the group has no damage.
So,
He's like Deadpool. He can actually talk to us out of the game and like.
Yeah.
on the
breaks the
last
wall.
episode, as in this will be the last episode without Fenrir.
Because everyone will
All
die
gonna
within his
die.
presence. No, I was telling him what it's going to end up being is we're going to get into an encounter, and it's just going to be me fighting against me, doing all the damage.
Yeah, I had a great one.
Oh.
It was like the beginning of Dragon Ball Z episode. It was like, tune in tonight. See Cody versus Cody and some other people.
No. With an 18. So, you know some about Narc.
Do I get an
it's
advantage for being so close?
No, because he was just as close as you were.
Okay. Well, I mean, all the time. I meant, like my whole life. No.
Yeah, I mean, so does he.
Doesn't matter.
But no, because you spent the majority of your time in Kelisari.
And I'm just a well-read individual.
So, you know some about Narc. That it's said that Narc is as old as civilization itself. That it is known as essentially the cradle of civilization across all of Nanon. Over the course of the 3 ages, Narc is the only one to have existed during and before the Age of Creation, the first age. As you crest the hilltop and you take in your first sight of the city, you see, as I described last time. Are you enjoying rolling all the dice?
Yeah.
You see, surrounding the city, 100-foot high walls with spires of different buildings towering above the high walls. You can see that there are a series of these walls inside the city as well. From this location, you can see the large half-mile wide chasm that surrounds the entire city. As you and the army continue traveling along the road, you come to the 4 bridges, or you come to one of the 4 bridges that span this chasm, connecting it to, connecting the mainland to the city. Everybody roll me perception checks.
10.
12.
25.
Sindal.
perception.
Yeah.
25.
18.
22.
22. So, Averis, Sandal, and Lily, three of you see, as you guys are crossing this bridge, it's about 150 feet across. It's a very, very wide bridge, allowing for travel across it on both directions with no problems whatsoever. As you're traveling, you see, as you get towards the center of the bridge, you see that there is a line across the center of the bridge, maybe about 10 feet across.
Pure Pokemon.
And you see along the way that the line spreads across the bridge and goes the whole way back towards the city. And just kind of looking at it and seeing to where it leads to, it looks as if, and you know a little bit from this as well from your history check, that these bridges are meant to be able to be collapsed. Should the city fall under siege, should an approaching army be too great that they can't hold them off, they can collapse these bridges to stop any army from being able to cross. Lily, with your eyes of the eagle, you're able to see down below, you can see movement in the chasm that's about 1.5 miles down. You can see movement at the bottom. You guys can see torchlights. You can see buildings. You can actually see people going about their daily lives, and you can see towards the southern half of the large column that the city is built on. You can see a series of lifts moving up and down, where there are people that are moving from the city above to the city below.
So there's like a city up top and below.
There are buildings that are built,
Just
and it looks as if that there are people that are living down in the shadow of the chasm down below, and about the 1/2 mile wide, in the 1/2 mile wide valley below. What was your perception check?
25.
Looking down below, you're not quite sure what it is, but you'll see sections where it's bustling, more or less. I mean, it's not like there are tons of people. It's not jam-packed like you would expect a city to exactly be. There are people moving, but you notice from where you guys are crossing on the bridge, two locations, two areas of the valley that are very sparsely populated. And one of them you can see a large black mass of a building. You're not exactly sure what it is. And in the other you can see what looks like a large pile of rubble and several other collapsed buildings around it. That it looks as if there is no one moving through these areas of the valley below. You continue to cross the bridge, and you come to the alabaster gate, made of spanning about 50 feet high, made of a pristine white wood. You're not sure exactly where it would come from, but it looks not dyed. It looks as if that the wood itself is naturally almost a pearly white. The gate hangs open. You can see soldiers and guards patrolling the walls above. Every 150 feet, you can see towers built into the wall the whole way around the city. As you come in, you see people coming to greet the soldiers that are coming home, wives, husbands, running forward, tears running down their faces, embracing one another, people picking up their children for the first time in months. You find yourselves in Narc. So I assume that we're going to continue on with what we were going before and just going straight to look for the hanged kerchief.
Correct.
The what?
The handkerchief.
The hanged kerchief.
The handkerchief.
The hanged kerchief.
I mean,
which
are
is
there
the,
any magical item shops in the area?
you can ask.
Just kidding.
Okay. And you
There's
know,
5 magical item shops.
you know, at
And
this
they each
point,
take an hour to get to.
at this point, it's maybe 4 o'clock in the afternoon. At this point, you guys have a little less than a month before winter arrives. Asking around, you guys learn that to find the handkerchief is in the southern quarter of the city. So you'll have to, if you continue on this road and go south through the city, you'll pass through one of the walls, and you'll basically want to travel until you approach the next wall that bisects the city. And once you hit that, just follow it to the outer wall, and you'll be able to find the handkerchief. Walking along,
I suppose we'll just leave the cart in a stead with the rest of our horses for the time being.
Yes, of course.
Or should we bring them all with us to the handkerchief? We'll find it.
That would seem silly, wouldn't it?
Well, we could bring it all with us, but it might be stolen out there. I've heard it's...
And naturally, they
Bit of
would
a
have
darker
stables and places where we could keep this.
Yes, but he has many valuables on the cart.
And can you imagine a life without a cart? We couldn't do that.
Well, they're not going to steal the whole cart. They're just going to steal our goods.
I mean,
Well,
it is a nice cart.
We
They
still
might
have that
take
bag
the
of
whole
holding,
bag.
don't we?
Fenrir pipes up and says, I really got most of the things in the bag, eh?
See, we're fine. Just put everything that we really need or that's really valuable to us in the bag, and we should be good.
But out
Yes.
there, it's a cart.
When is your bag of holding going to carry me to where we're going?
I wouldn't suggest going in there.
Well,
I
it's
hear
not going,
people
that's my
suffocate being in there, despite being made of meat.
That's my point. So, we leave the cart at the
You know what? We're
stables.
taking the cart to the handkerchief.
No, we're taking the cart with us to the handkerchief.
Oh,
We'll
good.
leave all of our horses, and then we will find a stable out there where we will find...
No, we'll find a damn stable for the cart.
I did not even get handkerchief. Whenever I said that name.
That's what I say. Yeah, that's what I heard you say.
I never picked up on
The
that.
very
Just
first
came
time
up
you said
with the
it.
hanged kerchief.
The first time you said it, I thought you said handkerchief, and I wrote it down.
Yeah,
and then
like
you were like hanged, and I was like,
Wait, you
Oh,
didn't.
no, it's the
It
hand.
wasn't a play on words. Nope.
whoa. Boo.
The plot twist.
So, anyways, so wait, are we taking the cart
Yes!
to the handkerchief?
Yes, and the horses, and we'll throw all the goods. We'll run a test on the bag of holding. We'll throw everything in.
No,
So we're taking the cart to the bag of...
we're not putting the cart in the bag of holding.
No,
Cart can't fit in the bag.
I think the first thing we need to do is find a
No,
stable
we're
for
not
everything.
putting the
We should
cart.
find a tailor.
I
That could
said-
expand the bag of holding.
I said everything
Can
that we have
Can
in
I
the
cast
cart.
stream on the whole group and have them have a dream that the cart got stolen?
I mean,
Not while we're away.
Might be a wet
That's not
dream
how
for
that
some.
works.
Might be a wet dream for some. Just don't do that. But
I think we find a stable and then we can walk because we probably if it's in like the back alleys and such to get to the handkerchief, we probably can't take horses there.
right.
So we're leaving everything and then going to the handkerchief.
yes.
How much?
That's literally what he just
How
said.
many
It's not
things?
that
How many
hard.
things do you have in the cart?
I'm not worried about the cart. I'm okay with leaving
I don't
the
give a
cart.
shit about the cart.
Well, then what the fuck are we talking about?
It's all the shit inside the cart.
There's 2 casks of ale in the cart.
No, I understand that, but I have this trusty alchemy job
All
Can
of
you
the.
fit
that I'm not so worried.
Do
Might
you
I-
have
might
it?
I
Oh, I
rephrase?
know that I have.
Might I
You
rephrase?
seem like you're compensating.
All of the goods that we carry on top of the
Any
cart,
goods?
we should put inside
On top
the
of
bag
the
of
cart.
holding.
I thought we established that 13 times.
Yes, then we're good. Let's go.
So we do that.
So what are you guys doing?
Any good stable will not get stolen from anyways.
So,
I swear,
So-
guys, we could make a sitcom show about our groups.
I'm assuming we're still with some
Isn't
of the
that what this
soldiers
is?
here.
That's kind of
That
what
was
it
in
is.
Not
character.
there anymore. We've separated now that we're going
What's
to
a
the
sitcom?
different
What is a sitcom?
Sitcom.
song.
Yella, you said the darndest thing.
so
So is there a what looks to be like a town
That's
guard
the best joke
here,
of the show
or
so far.
an army patrolman?
yeah, looking
Damn
around,
it,
you can
Troy.
see that there are multiple guards. Make a perception check.
23.
23. So you see that there are There's the soldiers that you guys came that kind of traveled with, like in conjunction with. You also see as well some of the guards that are not wearing military grade armor, but they're walking around and they all wear either symbols to Doldorn or Dolra. And you notice one of the guard patrols that comes walking by. You notice a large mechanical humanoid.
Is this our first? Oh no, it isn't.
You have seen one of these before. It's a Warforged. You see one of them walking along with a large greatsword across his back. See him walk along.
All right, I'm gonna go over to that small group with Warforged in it, I guess. Hail, we're new to this city. Is there any? Do you by chance know of any excellent stables near around where we could house up our horses and carts?
Well, if you're new to this city, you might want to go into the southern quarter. You'll look for the Left Pumpkin Inn. It's my favorite place to go. You can find a place to rest. You'll be able to put your horses up.
Oh, well, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll be able to find it right along the main road. It's pretty hard to miss.
Are you
Insight.
new to the city?
Check.
No, I'm a guard here.
That's what I thought. Interesting. No one else thinks that's weird? Alright, cool.
Can I get an insight on that though?
Sure.
18.
Seems honest. I mean, it's. Yeah, he just seems like he's tired and just trying to answer your questions and get along with his day.
All right, sounds good enough to me. We'll head over there. Thank you for your time, good sir.
Enjoy your time here in Dark.
Pedophiles.
And him and the Warforged walk off.
No.
Listen, the last time you guys suspected that the guards were all up to something, you guys murdered one and ended up becoming.
I have no idea what
Lots
you're
of
talking
effort.
about. I was not there for that.
You were there for it.
Allegedly. Never proven in a court.
No, but you did it. No, but you did it. You killed that guard. You killed him good.
But
His wife never saw him again.
technically they was only saw
That
us.
leg of the tripod looks like it's dangerously
It's
close to
not going anywhere. Just don't bump the table.
Yeah, true.
So,
Is that a cliff bar?
as you
He's such a hipster.
having passed through the
drinking
wall,
LaCroix.
or passed through the alabaster gate, you guys take note that like the walls are about 100 feet high and they're about 40 to 50 feet thick. This is, and you can see that like some of the stonework that's in the wall is old and moss grown over it. Some of it seems to be newer. I mean, it seems as if it's not as if the city has never seen siege before. Traveling along the road south, you see after a little while, I mean, there are different offshoots into smaller side streets. You pass by an array of hole-in-the-wall restaurants, small little shops, and you pass a tailor and some other odds and ends, nothing that particularly really catches your eye. As you're traveling along, you see further into the city, further towards the center, there is another one of the 100-foot-high walls. You're essentially walking between two of them right now. Walking down for about 10-15 minutes, you see that there's a fork in the main road. The main road continues on towards the interior 100-foot-high wall. Continuing south, following the instructions, you see walls that are maybe 40 to 50 foot high inside. On your right, you see that there are gaps in between the wall. In between this wall, there are essentially it comes in, bends, a gap, a central piece, a gap, and then it continues on to meet with another wall. Looking inside, you can see that the street that you're on is fairly busy. There's people, there's wagons, and you see an array of humans, elves, dwarves, halflings, gnomes, a whole kit and caboodle. I mean, it's mostly human, but there's a fair share of the other races as well. That area to your right that you saw looks barren. You see almost nobody walking. There are several taller buildings, and you see that there is. You only see 3 people walking through, men in robes with their hoods drawn, carrying stacks of scrolls and books, walking the streets inside that district. Continuing on, you see that there was the 100-foot high wall on the right, the exterior one to the city, and there's another one that comes across in front of you. Passing through that gate. This doesn't have one of the large, magnificent gates. This has, you can see that there is a series.
Gate.
Well, no, you can see that it's more of a, there's 2 small portcullises on this wall that allow people to kind of pass through it. Passing through, the portcullises are raised, the guards are watching, but not really paying too much attention to anyone in particular. You pass into what seems to be more of a residential area. You see that there is a series of houses of different sizes, different levels of wealth invested into them. Passing along, you guys see that there's a park on the right where there is kind of the first large group of trees that you've seen inside the city. Then you hear the sound of children playing, people running around. Continuing on, you see that the road splits again, one going south towards the exterior gate again, towards what you guys would assume would be the southern bridge of the city. And you guys continue on until you come to another 100-foot wall, which you guys gather is where you're supposed to follow that wall to the exterior to look for the handkerchief. Following that, you guys get to roughly the area you guys are looking for. Who's leading the search for the handkerchief?
Me.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check.
Okay then.
No one spoke up, so.
No, I like it actually.
I didn't imagine myself leading.
I was like a fan there.
15.
15. Okay. Asking around, you draw a few strange looks from a rather concerned-looking mother as to why a young girl is asking where to find.
Oh, she's fine.
She's covered with tattoos.
It's. Are you sure you're looking for the handkerchief? It's a very dangerous place for someone your size.
I've killed more people than you imagine.
No. Not.
I am the night
No, but like
mother.
really.
That's actually what I was thinking of saying.
Not until
It's
he
like,
says
I've
it in
killed
his voice.
before. I've killed before.
You see a concerned look come across her face.
Oh my god.
She looks to the group of adults standing behind her.
I just
She
look
has
away
killed before.
and just shake my head.
Well,
She's not lying.
Don't worry, ma'am. She has quite a colorful imagination. Well, we're.
All right. Well, if you're looking for the handkerchief, you want to follow that road down there and make a left. It'll be hard to miss.
No, thank you. We'll be on our way.
She puts her arm around her daughter's shoulder and kind of turns her away and walks her away from you guys, kind of giving you guys a disapproving look as she goes.
Up there? Did you just attempt to pass Lily as a mentally ill folk?
I said she
So
had a
calm down.
colorful imagination.
I took it more of as a child than a
Yes.
mentally stricken.
That's quite a leap.
Alright.
I mean, you're not wrong, but
Mentally scarred, perhaps.
what do you mean? What do you mean, Albert?
well,
that he's not wrong.
taking a fall from 300 feet in the air, it's bound to do something to your psyche.
Up there, we don't talk about that situation anymore.
Right, we don't.
I'm not a mental case.
Shut.
You'll listen to the Night Mother.
No more threatening people. Let's go.
So,
Yeah,
following her
listen to
direction, you guys turn down a very seedy-looking part of town.
You're just me.
Coming to the. I guess that I kind of am an idiot and walked right past the fact that you guys walked past the Left Pumpkin Inn.
Yeah, I thought that's what we were going for, and then all of a sudden we were looking for the handkerchief, so whatever.
Let's just backtrack a little.
I had it written down at least.
We'll go back and ask the same woman.
Oh,
hey,
wait.
by the way, where's...
We have all these damned horses and a cart behind us, and we're about to go to the place that we were supposed to.
Sorry, that's my fault. You guys find the Left Pumpkin Inn. You see that it's a 2-story establishment made of a very plain looking, but an inviting, glowing warmth coming from the windows inside. And as you guys open up, you see that there's a fair share of people here eating dinner. You can see that there is a handful of people waiting on tables. And as you walk in towards the bar, you see 2 bartenders standing behind handing out drinks, and there's a you see a small brown-haired gnome with wide open eyes and irises and pupils that seem to almost take up the majority of the white of his eyes. He kind of gives you that crazy eye look where you can see the white the whole way around his eyes. His hair is pulled into several very small and erratic
The way Lily's eyes always look.
different braids and just small knots in his hair. And as you guys come walking up, you see that he's walking on the top of the bar, just talking to different patrons. And he kind of naturally steps out of the way of drinks, and you can see that there are several people that, as they're coming, they just kind of naturally slide their drink out of the way for him. And as you guys walk in, oh, hello, welcome to the Left Pumpkin Inn. What can I get the? What is that? 6 of you. That's a big. Is that a wolf outside? What are you doing?
All right. Listen,
Hi.
here's what we need. We need lodging for our horses, preferably 2nd floor.
2nd floor lodging for horses?
Yes.
I don't have a 2-story stable. That's what? Well, I mean, the horses don't.
So surely your 1st floor lodging is discounted.
Well, no, that's not how that works.
Oh
There's
my
it's
Lord.
only one floor.
Oh my.
This is
Don't mind
ridiculous.
our friend here. We've been on a very long trip. He has a very colorful imagination. We are indeed looking for lodging for our horses, possibly for an extended amount of time, and lodging for ourselves.
Well, how many horses do you guys have?
Actually,
I'm assuming.
I don't remember.
I'm assuming 6.
No.
There was 7, I believe, counting, of course, our 2 draw horses, Tor and
Riley. Wait, we
Torn
named
Riley.
our horses.
Yeah, that you named them.
We did.
Nothing
We
better
did.
than name your workhorses after your one dead companion.
It was in his honor. And this may be a little bit much, but one of our companions does have a dire wolf.
Direwolf?
quite friendly, in fact, and very pleasant. Where is he?
I don't know how that's gonna work here. I mean, the horses tend to get skittish, and if they're here for the whole winter, and there's a wolf, it's gonna get scary, and they're gonna get scared, and they're gonna go crazy in the winter, and that's hard to deal with. It's hard to get any type of artisan to be able to build a stable for you or fix it in the winter. People really
Well,
don't
then
like working.
forget the wolf. We'll find a different situation for him then. But the horses themselves and our carts, they'll be. You have ample room for them, right?
Lunay will be fine by herself, yes. So,
We have 5 riding horses and 2 draft horses plus a cot.
Horses we can deal with. If you're looking to strum up an agreement for long term, like for how long term are we talking?
no,
The
sir,
whole winter?
not long term.
Not long term. Okay.
At
Well,
least not for now.
how long are you guys looking for lodging?
Actually, how long do you think?
How
this
long
will
are we
take us?
looking for?
I think just for tonight, and then
I
we're
mean-
going to move on. I think with tomorrow we were going to.
We are taking them to the mine, correct? I mean, that would be my assumption.
I believe so.
I didn't intend on leaving them behind.
Okay, well, if you're looking for 7 horses for the night and 6 rooms, that'll be 7. It'll be 20 gold for the night for 7 horses and all of you.
That's just fair.
Sounds fun to me. I put down 4 gold.
Sure, I'll join in. I give 4.
I'll give
as well.
4.
I'll put down 2.
Nailed it! You can lay down for 2 as well and just stiff with everything since it's not
So, my Diane, what's your name?
Granville.
Granville?
Yeah, yeah.
Granville. Why the left pumpkin and what happened to the right one?
Right one didn't grow.
Didn't grow. I like you, Granville.
Thanks! I do too. So,
I didn't roll on that inside check.
Do you have seasonal pumpkin wine?
we do actually.
I would love some of that pumpkin spice
I
wine.
think we have business to attend to.
Do you have any?
Oh, nonsense. I can have a
You
drink.
can always make time for wine.
I like this man.
It even rhymes.
I would love to try it.
Pumpkin spice always gets everybody.
So,
It's that time.
6? 6 points?
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
no pumpkin spice for me.
Then no
5
wine.
fun wines, 1 boring. And
Much better.
they go and they
You're not 16-year-old white girl enough for us?
pours 5 pumpkin spice wines. For the 5 of you, and he pours a nice Pinot Noir for you.
Oh, much better.
And you guys enjoy wine. I mean, it's not crazy. I mean, it's still kind of early. It's mostly just people here just eating their dinners at this point. You guys enjoy your wines. The stable boys see to your horses keeping a wide berth away from Lune. As you finish your wines, you guys follow on with the path and have a discussion with the woman and her daughter that we already had before, and you turn down the seedy alley to see before you. And at this point, after staying for the wine, with it being the time of year that it is, it's a little bit colder. You guys kind of bundle up with your cloaks, but you see a bundle of people walking into a small wooden establishment with a sign over it with, I described last week, it looks like a wall rack for coats with a handkerchief hung on one of the hooks. And you find yourselves at the handkerchief. You guys, as you walk into the tavern, it's very... Hold on. Music. I know, I'm the worst.
The immersion is gone.
There's no natural transitions. It's absurd.
Yeah, out of anything that we do, that was definitely the thing that breaks the.
Could you at least fade out
You
of
need
the
to
street
fade in.
sounds and
I
fade
hit-
in with the
I
end?
hit space.
God.
I just meant to hit
that
play
definitely
on the next
worked
playlist. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
for sure.
I'm sorry, guys.
I'm just kidding.
And the viewer count drops.
The viewer count is still
Drops
0,
by
as it
50%.
was before.
It increases by 50% to 3.
Great. 50%
You guys walk in
times
and
0
you see
is-
that there's
My friend Matt's supposed to be watching tonight. What's up, Matt?
He is
hey,
Vadot.
you see that there's a collection of people all just gathered around small tables. There's it's very dimly lit in here. You see that there are the bar is kind of crowded of people smashing in to try to get their drinks to get back to their tables. Taking a look around, you can see mostly it's a rough crowd. I mean, you can see people with kind of grizzled facial hair, people with very open scars. You can see that there are several people that are sitting around with not doing anything to possibly hide the fact that they are armed and have weapons. You see up on the sitting up at the bar with it's the only place at the bar where there's a bit of a gap. You can see that there's a dwarf sitting at the one end with a hand axe embedded into the bar top. And you can see that there is a series of these, and it's almost as if that this is his spot at the bar. And he is just sitting very quietly with a very large mug of ale. Just you see shaved head, kind of a bushy blonde beard that kind of rolls down and goes over top of his lap. You can see a woman behind the bar with kind of short black hair parted to one side, a little bit longer on the side it's parted to.
Just splitting out of his armor.
You see that she's well built, handing out drinks. The men are very attentive to everything she says. You guys hear she makes a joke to she's the hot bartender.
She's pretty sexy. Yeah. She's the evil.
You can see that as she makes a rather poor joke, all the men that are at the bar around here all laugh uproariously at the very not very funny joke.
I missed what race she was on.
And there's a familiar-looking gentleman at the bar as well. Who shouts, "Dibs"?
No, Vay is not here.
Wait, Barney Stinson?
City Dexter? No.
Good cover.
When I see the woman, suddenly my hat's brim gets a little wider and my feather gets a little longer.
And his pants get a little tighter.
My pants get a little tighter.
DM's
Let
discretion.
me get a closer look at her first.
Make himself a check.
Natural 20.
Oh yeah, you see it.
Wait, you saw his boner?
I said DM's.
It's impossible. It's impossible not to.
I said DM's discretion. Do I notice?
Okay.
And I rolled a natural 20.
Let me
No, I mean
hit her
you
up.
notice
Wait,
that
hold on, she look like-
as everyone is kind of taking a look around, you see Zarn, his eyes immediately lock to the bartender, and he kind of straightens up his shoulders a little bit, and you can see that as he does, the hat just kind of naturally just kind of straightens up and gets a little bit more of a flourish to it.
I look around.
Did we hear the joke?
I mean, it's kind of hard to hear. There's a lot of people talking, but you can just kind of hear. And she says, "And they said, use the red one." And everyone just starts laughing. I don't really know what the joke could have possibly been.
I look to see if Zarn starts laughing.
Not yet.
Right.
So, what do you guys do?
We're looking for the contact, right?
I'm gonna go up to the bar.
Yes,
and I'm going to order a drink. Hello.
I'll go with our friend here.
Could I have ale? And that's all for now.
She kind of turns and takes a look at you and kind of gives you a. You know, walk in and just ask for an ale and not even introduce yourself to my establishment.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm looking for one named Basilia, and I assumed she would know me.
Basilia. I mean, I don't know all my patrons, especially if they're new, but I know you now.
Well, Basilia. My name is Korak. I've come here on the orders of a man named Lasher. I'm sure you're familiar.
Yeah, just.
As you say that, you see two of the patrons that are standing next to you that were waiting for ale look at each other and just turn and walk away.
I take one of their seats.
Attaboy!
You
I'm
walk
just gonna
out.
specify that I do have my veil on.
You also notice that the
It's beautiful and elegant.
that the dwarf that is sitting at the end of the bar, as you say that, his eyes kind of look in your direction. He just sets his mug down and re-thumps his axe into the bar. Just keeps his eyes locked on you as he takes another drink. She gives you a look. You're here because of Lasher, Korak. First of all, it's nice to meet you.
Did you see that?
Lasher? Boys, clear out of that table. And you see that she goes over to she yells at the two gentlemen that just walked away. They walked away over to one of the table, and you can see they were meeting with two other people. They grumble to themselves, and they stand up and they walk out of the bar. Can I get all you and your friends some ale, Korak?
Yes, please, and that would be great.
Okay, that'll be 3 gold.
So they weren't
And I'll go for
friends when the
5.
meat version was hot. They're laughing
She-
because they're terrible.
And she'll take the 5 gold. Go on. Find yourselves a seat. I'll bring your ales over in just a minute. She turns and yells,
Someone always gets striking. He's the one who likes the loud.
Maxie, take over for the bar for me, would you? You see standing up from the corner booth at the bar, you see the far end of the room, you see standing up, towering over the other patrons at the bar about 1.5 feet higher, you see a very, very dark-skinned female with shaved sides to her hair and a small bun pulled up top. Flecks of yellow and goldish markings along her face and along her skin. You see rippling muscles as she walks over and steps behind the bar. As you see Basilia pouring out something else. Go on, have your seat. I'll be with you in a minute. As you guys walk over and take your seat at the table.
Is the table by like a wall?
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna lean up against the wall.
Okay.
Stay standing.
Okay. You guys go and find your seat. And
Is it a booth or is it like?
no, it's just like a table out in the center.
Still exist in this
I
way.
hate booths. They're the fucking worst.
No, I mean, booths exist. Naxi was sitting at a booth by herself.
Yeah, rusty.
But it can't be a.
How dare you use my real name?
No, it's more like a pew, a church pew.
Yeah, like.
Oh, it's all hard and wooden.
So,
They don't want you there too long.
But so are their
just
butts.
like a minute passes, and you can see she is coming over with a tray of drinks, and she expertly just carries them, balancing on one hand, sets them down, and just kind of sets them in the center of the table and spins the tray for everyone to take it. She pulls out a rag and starts wiping off her hands. Pulls up a seat, sits in it backwards, looking at the 6 of you. So, you're here because of Lasher?
We have some business with him.
I don't know if because of would be the right word. It's more of on behalf of.
Oh, because of is a pretty good.
Do you have a timetable?
A very short one, yes.
My condolences. And she kind of straightens herself up. And upon seeing that, just kind of stands up, flips the chair around, and sits more comfortably, pulling herself away from the table. If you're here with a timetable, you're here for one of several things, or potentially one of several things.
Gold mine.
All right.
That's what I'm
You're
saying.
here for the gold
That's why
mine.
I do what I do.
If you're, did you deal directly with Lasher?
Well, the man called himself Lasher. I don't know if he was possibly just a stand-in, but I believe so.
He's kind of an asshole.
Yes, he was not a very nice person.
Pale gray eyes, bit of a sociopath.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, he's a charmer. Yes, no, well, if you're here to deal with the gold mine problem, then what's your timetable?
Before the beginning of winter.
All right. Doesn't give you a lot of time. Oh, excuse me. So, she grabs she reaches over towards your mug of ale. It's my bar. I can drink what I want.
By all means.
She kind of gives you a look. And, so, if you're looking to go to the gold mine, you're going to want to go up. Fastest way to go, if you have a quick way of traveling across rivers, you're going to want to just cut straight across. There's a branch of the Dagger River that comes north of the city, past the Freedom Rail. You're going to want to cross the river, go across the plains and farmland until you eventually have to cross the main width of the river again. If you have a quick way of traveling, going by horse is the fastest way. You can get there in a week and a half.
We have a cart.
We don't have to take the cart. We have a place to keep it.
Well, the problem is
Saying
that
we had a quick
there are no
way.
bridges that cross over the main width of the Dagger River. And where you'll need to cross over, it's about 150 feet across of fast-running river. So unless you have a way to cross with your horses and all of you,
We do.
Me too.
well then I guess I don't need to worry about telling you how long it'll take you to get there by boat. Once you'll get there, the forest kind of branches out in 2 long forks. You're going to want to travel between the 2 forks to the point where it meets. If you travel into the woods for half a day straight north from there, you'll be able to tell where it is that there is an old hunting lodge made of old logs. There should still be signs of Valinor there. If you get to the lodge and head straight north for about half a day, you'll reach the mine. It's pretty hard to miss. The forest is kind of cleared out around where the tunnels lead out from.
What's going on in the mine? Do you know?
To be honest, I don't know. I told Lasher that the workers stopped working about almost a month and a half, 2 months ago at this point. Well, I guess actually it would have been longer because you guys traveled for a month and a half. For about 3 months, the mine's gone unworked. We sent 1 or 2 people there to try and figure out what's going on, and never heard from them again. But we only sent one of our members to go look for it, and the only thing we ever heard from the miners is that they said the wrath of the gods came out from the earth to swallow them.
Sounds like they probably burrowed too deep and hit some sort of den of monsters or something.
That's probably what I'm guessing.
Is that mine?
I'm guessing that they didn't manage to dig up the gods and the dragon.
Is it possible they burrowed into the Underdark?
Oh, it's highly possible.
That's
The mines run very deep. They could have run into any series of creatures. We have we have soldiers that are paid to watch over the mine, but whenever they stop working, very few people return to us.
Sounds like it's not a very complicated way to get to the mine. So we just have to find a way to cross the rivers. And
Is there anyone we can talk to that was there?
That has returned.
That has returned, or could we find them somewhere on the way there in one of the palms or something?
She shrugs and says, I mean there are some people that live in the sunken district below that worked for us, but I don't really keep tabs on who actually works the mine. That's more for Lasher's side of the business than mine. I just run the bar.
Fair enough.
Lily's gonna step away to go to the restroom real quick.
So,
That's the messenger.
you have until the first snowfall, correct?
Correct.
That gives you exactly 26 days to accomplish this.
How long? Quite the weather woman, are we?
Well, you need to know when the seasons are going to change, especially when the winter comes. If you're not careful and you leave anything out, anything living anyways, probably won't survive the night.
Well,
I'm particularly fond of my garden.
Well, in that case, perhaps we should get a move.
How long would it take you to get into contact with Lasher and tell him that we've finished this quest?
I'll send messengers. When he finds out about it, it's not as much of a problem as much as
The news he receives.
my stamp of approval that you've returned to me with news that this has been accomplished.
Fair enough.
And I feel the need to be honest.
should you lie, should things not properly be accomplished, whatever it is that Lasher has on you that made you be on a time frame is going to be much worse for whoever is on the other end.
Well, we have no reason to lie to you.
There's always a reason to lie. So, how do you like the ales?
What's the dwarf been doing with the axe on the side of the
Just keeping a very, very close eye on this entire interaction between between the seven of you.
Well, no, I can move on now.
Don't go to the bathroom ever again.
So does that conclude this matter of business?
I believe in
Well,
this.
if that's all the information you can give us, then
If
I
we
guess
know
we
where,
can finish up here.
if we know where the mine is now, we know how to get there. I hope that we have somebody to speak to in matters regarding the mine that might have escaped or survived or ran away from whatever transpired in the mine that we're going to deal with.
I mean, if you're really that curious about it, you can go down into the sunken district below.
How much
And do some
time would that
poking
take
around.
us?
Depends on how good you are at people, talking to people.
Well, I mean, clearly we're fantastic. Like, to travel though, like, is there a clear path? Is it simple?
I mean, you'll be traveling mostly across farmland.
I'm sorry, to the sunken district.
To the sunken district,
But it
I
is-
mean, you'll just need to go onto the other side of the wall and take the lifts down below. I mean, that traveling on the lifts takes about an hour and a half each way. It's a slow process. It's a mile and a half down.
Yeah, these walls are pretty impressive.
There's a reason this city stood as long as it has.
Proof that
Host,
walls
watch
work.
over us.
Yeah, Rusty's eye just twitched.
Not a fan of the gods either.
Not the new pen.
She kind of gives you a look. Alright. You might find yourself fitting in more in the sunken district than you think then.
Do they have followings of the old gods down there?
What's left of the remnants from before the rupture lie down below.
Temples or just...
Old haunts, I think is a better way to put it.
Fair enough.
Gods. But if there's nothing else, I'm losing money sitting here. My patrons love me. She gives you guys a smile.
Fair enough. I don't think we think of anything else that we have to discuss here.
Well,
We'll be on our way.
Yes, thank you.
I'll be honest then. I really do wish you luck. I've seen the things Lasha does to the people that don't follow through on their contracts. And she just gets up and walks away. As she walks behind the bar, you see that she walks up and she pats Maxie on the back, and the Goliath kind of very quickly, like she was like midway to handing a drink to someone else, just drops it on the floor, mug shatters, and just this look of just, oh, thank God I don't have to do this anymore. Just drops the mug, shatters on the floor, just walks straight back to her booth. And you see that as she steps back, she says, "Boys, I'm back." And immediately people start coming back up to the bar to get more drinks.
We need some guitar here to meet Maxie.
Can I? This is gonna sound terrible. Can I investigate her, assuming that her guise is some sort of illusion?
Who?
Does she seem like
I'm sorry, who are you talking about?
the
Basilia?
bartender? Yes,
Basilia.
Yeah.
Sure, make an investigation check.
She's so cool.
Investigation is a 21.
As you go, as you see her kind of get up and start to walk back, you catch a glimpse underneath her kind of like long sleeves. You can see that there is a you don't see any type of illusion, but you see a very long, concealed dagger that you didn't really notice during the whole length of that conversation. She just had a dagger tucked up her forearm. But she doesn't seem to be any type of illusion. Yeah. Okay. So, where are you guys going? Back to the Left Pumpkin Inn?
Well, we don't have much time. What are we traveling with the cart or without? Or we
The cart stays, the horses come with us.
sensible?
So.
Well, if we go the route of the river, I can use my water walk spell to get 10 of us across.
I mean, if you cast it on just the horses, perhaps we can just ride upon the horses as they cross.
Well.
I guess that does work. I wasn't thinking about that. So, but I have to prepare it. So we'd have to go tomorrow.
I think we have the other thing we need to do. We need to find I can't forget the guy's name now. The commander's daughter. Give her and his locket to her. Trent Myers' daughter. To do that, I think we'd have to probably find Ellison. Have to find out where she is.
I think that is something that we have said we were going to do after this is taken
Well, I'm
care
just
of.
saying, if we plan on leaving in the morning, perhaps we could do that tonight.
It's pretty late night at this point. It's like, because it gets dark around like 7, 8 o'clock. It's dusk at this point.
It would seem to me we should get started as soon as we can. We have little time as it is.
Well, we can leave early in the morning.
Right, and the earlier we
Right.
get to bed.
But the
the
real
earlier we
question
can
here
rise,
is, are
which
we going to
makes-
gather more information down in the underpart of the city, or are we just going to head out on our own tomorrow morning?
I'm going to venture a guess and say that anything we find down there is going to be useless compared to the amount of time we would gain by just going.
I'm actually inclined to agree
Yes.
with hurrying for once. Get this done with us so we can be done with this foul business with Lasher.
So, you guys go back to the inn.
Is there have we seen like a bounty board of any sort as we were walking through town?
No. As you get back to the inn, you guys take your night's rest, perhaps spending some time hanging out in the bar area. I mean, it's pretty mellow for the most part over the course of the night. You all take your night's rest, and no, that's not where
Cody
we're
didn't
gonna-
prepare anything else.
Yeah, no, I didn't prepare anything. Sorry, guys.
We're going on that like 42-minute long episode thing now.
Oh, I got the cameras backwards. I knew I did something wrong.
How's
Yeah, I just got a text from Grindr.
Yeah,
saying
he
it
told
was
me to. I
Whoops.
was going to tell you.
too late.
I was waiting to tell you.
I'll fix it. I
So
won't fix it, I don't care.
we're now
Um,
Stubby,
What's the problem?
Kaylee, and Rusty.
The cameras are on.
I have the camera panes backwards, so there's the 2 names underneath you guys, and there's the 3 names underneath them. Worst stream ever. Sorry, guys.
Well,
we're
in
canceling.
that picture,
Canceling D&D.
I am in the middle.
That's
Hey,
true.
Lily.
So,
So I'm literally a nobody on
You
this
guys
stream.
are so funny.
just take your night's rest.
No, seriously. No.
Waking up early in the morning, feasting on a complimentary breakfast. You guys go.
I'm gonna come out. No time for breakfast.
I mean, you guys have like a week and a half travel,
It's a continental
That's
breakfast.
what I'm saying.
so have a light breakfast.
But what about
Breakfast and go.
second?
I don't think he knows about second.
I know everything. But no, as you sorry, as you finish your breakfast, you guys go and get your horses. Fenrir, having not been able to find anywhere to put Lune for the night, dismissed her for the evening. and then used his second level spell to resummon her in the morning. As you were riding, just kind of guiding your horses through the city, you lead them towards the northern gate back along the path you guys took originally. Following along, you see again that same kind of emptied out area that you saw before, and you don't see anyone walking into this morning. At this point, you can see that some of the businesses are starting to open their windows, throw up their blinds, kind of open up their front doors a little bit. Going through the gate, or through the bisecting wall, continuing past the emptied area, past the alabaster gates, you start to pass through a very rich-looking part of town. Extravagant shops that are laid out next to each other, that it seems as if that any building that you walk past seems almost as if it is competing to look a little bit brighter and a little bit fancier than the building next to it. This is a very rich, this is the merchant area of the town. All the shops seem to be competing with one another. Even this early in the morning, there are people outside the buildings heckling you to come into your shops, or come into shops as you guys go. But avoiding another shopping episode. There, we will have time in the future for that. And you guys have a task.
I have many more bounties to complete before I have enough gold. I'm sorry.
Every single person that says something, I start walking towards them for a second, and someone has to grab my shoulder and pull me back.
You follow the path around as well, and you can see Sindal and Aber. Roll me religion checks.
18. 14.
Okay, so both of you see at multiple different intersections, you see kind of hanging on many of the buildings. You see banners and signs of a symbol that is a gold coin that has 9 sides on it, and you recognize this as the symbol of Kol Karan, what's his official title? The Sovereign of World and Wealth, member of the host. He is the god of trade amongst the sovereign host. And walking along, you come to a somewhat busy intersection of streets, and you can see at the center of it is a fountain not a fountain, more like just a pond. I guess it would just be like a little pond, like a small circular structured pond with a symbol of a domino on it, and you get that this is the symbol of Aladra, the goddess of good fortune, luck, and plenty. And you can see, even as at this time in the morning, there are people that are walking up with handfuls of copper, throwing them into the fountains, hoping to appease her for good fortune on their day of trading.
Can I look around to see if there are like any devious-looking people watching people throw coins into the fountain, like they're just eyeing out how much gold is going in there?
Sure, make a perception check.
That natural one.
It's pretty early. There's not a ton of people out about.
We fall into the fountain.
Grab a handful of copper at the bottom.
God smites me.
Pennies. No quarters though. Real lie.
Those pennies are good luck, Devin.
But following along the main road here, you get to the intersection with the fork that travels towards the exterior wall, and you guys follow that towards the northern gate, where you pass through the Sapphire Gate. Not made of blue wood, but a large wooden gate studded with large, almost this size sapphire gems. Oh boy, that fell from up there.
What was that?
The face.
The Guy Fawkes mask. With probably blue sapphire is about this large, completely covering all sides of the gate, both the interior and exterior.
Not making my mouth anymore.
The gate is open before you. Take to your mounts and ride out of the northern gate across the chasm, across the bridge. And you can see on this side of the gate of the city, you can see that there is, from the eastern gate that you guys passed through, there wasn't very much population on the far side, or on the exterior side of the chasm. There wasn't a ton of buildings. It's mostly just farmland. You can see that on this side there is not as extravagant as inside the city, but again, merchant shops of lower quality, more for your average everyday person. And kind of looking around as you're riding, you understand why most of the trade is on the northern side of the city, as for the first time many of you see a large stone structure, probably with in front of you, probably out about a quarter mile, you can see a large stone pillar, maybe about 50 feet across, rising up about 150 feet to a wide stone platform that stretches to your left, out along the edge of the city on the outside, and stretching as far as the eye can see north. Many of you know that this is the Freedom Rail, an ancient construct from the Age of Creation. It is an ancient lyrium-powered railway that spans the majority of the continent. You can also see it stretches over in dwarfs in size, but it dwarfs it in comparison of just like the majesty of it. You can see that there is the tendril of the Dagger River that she told you about before. Traveling along as you guys go, you guys get to probably riding like through the town and just kind of going as you guys go. I'm assuming you're not riding full gallop through this area of the city. But probably about by midday, you reach the Dagger River on this branch of your journey.
Well,
So we're trying to find a way to cross the entire width of this river.
yes.
We just made it to the river.
How far across is the river?
150.
No, this length of the river is a little bit more narrow. It's about 50 to 75. She was talking about
we have to cross the river, then it hooks around, and we have to cross.
Yeah,
it.
this is essentially a small branch that heads inward. You will be crossing a shallower part, but a very large in comparison section of the river later on.
Well, should we ford the river and risk losing some oxen, or should we?
I'm sure we could wait until we get
Yeah,
to
fuck off, everyone.
Shock the
Horse
wagon.
toots.
Should we
Halt
chuck
the wagon.
Yeah, there.
Broken axle.
Yeah.
I believe Lily mentioned that she has some sort of.
Steve died of dysentery.
Wow, wow.
Steve's alive.
Steve's still alive.
He's being eaten by a griffin right now as we speak.
Brylan died of dysentery.
Who?
Or was distant.
Our horse? Damn!
No!
Brother!
So-
That's the second part that we've lost.
I'm assuming
Yes.
you're going to cast water walking.
Yeah, we're on. All of us each have our own horse, right?
Right,
6 horses
and-
in total.
And 6 horses.
7 horses in total. I
Wait,
think.
Five horses.
And
Yeah.
a
And a
dog.
We left the 2 horses for the cart behind.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure Fenrir is able to walk across water on his own. Like, he doesn't need magical assistance.
That's a good point, actually.
He actually doesn't even need to walk, he just flies across.
I mean,
Yes.
I can make it over, but Lune can't really handle it on her own.
Yes. Well, he walks and it just parts away from him in fear.
I actually can do that. You should just carry us.
Well, what's more badass? Do you want to do that or do you want me to water walk?
Water walk, I'll save my higher level spells.
Yeah, because we don't have any time to recuperate.
We're water walking.
So as you
You can control water, is that what it is?
as you come to the edge of the river, you can see that there is a series of docks and fishermen pulling into their or getting into their ships to go out for the day. You can see that there are several merchant vessels. You see a large barge coming along the river as well, taking up the majority of the travel space on the river, but you see small ships passing out around it. And as you all start walking towards the edge of the river, you see several people kind of stopping and just kind of watching you guys as you're just riding or taking your horses just right up to the edge of the river. You just see several fishermen just sitting on the edge of the dock, just stopping and just taking a look at you. As Lily takes a moment and goes into an incantation, and as she finishes it, you see around the and you see the horses kind of freak out for a second, but you guys not too much. You guys are very easily able to do it. You just hear Lune give out this low growl as you see kind of forming around like the hooves of the horses. You can see and slightly hear the slight sound of it sounds like a strong breeze kind of kicks up all around you guys, and you see that as Fenrir kind of pushes Lune forward, she goes to take a step, and you can see that the water kind of bows a little bit in the with the presence of the air kind of forcing around it, and it seems as if she almost like is like somewhat like kind of like floating on the river as she walks, or not like levitating on the river almost. Like the air is just providing just enough weight to keep her from fully going into the river. And the rest of you lead your horses. A little bit skittish, but you can just see that as you guys start going out, you see all people that are just all around you. All of them are just turning and just. Am I seeing things? You're seeing that too, right?
I waved to them.
Now's the time.
And you can just see them
Cast a
just.
psych of insects upon them.
And you just continue your way
I
across
just
the river.
look back and I just keep going. Too many things to do. I can't play games with these people.
I mean, the wave doesn't really take that much time.
No one was criticizing you, Zon.
We've all.
I feel like everything I'm doing is criticized anymore. The cards, the waving.
The women.
I was totally on board with the card. I think
You
you
guys-
were precisely correct.
Normally, I'd be more than happy to join in some showmanship of magic, as apparently it's quite a feat in the farmlands, rightfully so. But we do have too much going on, so.
As you guys cross the river, cross without any real problem. You see one of the ships that's coming along kind of stops, and you guys kind of stop, wave them on, continue on. Just look at you, just like kind of staring as they go.
They have
And then you
right
guys
of
can
way.
Yeah, they're going this way. You guys are crossing. They have the right of way.
Whoever the dangerous creature is has the right of way at that
And
point.
then
So-
the night mother summons a whirlpool.
All of you cross the river, reaching the other side, and as you reach the other side, the horses' feet kind of return back and touch onto land, and you guys kind of go at a more full-paced gallop. Riding along, you guys ride the rest of that day. It's mostly across farmlands. There's not any roads necessarily that you're traveling on, but you just kind of follow natural, different paths of that seem to kind of separate different properties or different farming areas, not necessarily trampling over people's crops of what they have left to gather before the winter.
Is it like very just very flat land, like when we were heading down?
It's
into the area?
pretty flat land for the most part. as you guys are going, you guys ride the rest of the day. You guys make camp, no problem. What are you guys' watch orders while you guys are camping?
First.
And is there anything that you guys want to do in this travel for the next week and a half?
No.
First, third,
Second.
second,
Is there 4 watches?
4 watches. First, second,
So
third.
I guess I'll do.
You don't even sleep.
I cast
Well, I picked 2,
This is
so I guess I'll do
entire
4th.
watch. We're gonna get fucking
And
murdered.
then
What's that? What one is Korak on?
Second.
split it that way.
Yo, Quack, a second.
What? And I have to
No,
do
you're
3rd
not
and
allowed.
4th.
You would need to do third and fourth.
Yeah, so 3rd and 4th.
So first, second, third, fourth. Okay. And is there anything that you guys want to try to accomplish in the time that you guys are doing that?
I guess while we're walking along, or striding along, there's only like herbs and junk that I noticed.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Since I do have that herbalism kit and proficiency with it.
Whoa, we were. Hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Roll what? What kind of check?
We'll say actually medicine check.
For medicine, 15.
15. So there's not an overly large abundance of this because you're traveling mostly through farmland. You do find some of it. You find about 10 gold worth of a healing potion. So you mark it down that you have that much more in conjunction with whatever you had before. But anything else? Okay. So
I plan on casting Identify on the book.
When I get to the end of my watch, is there anything that I can do to prepare myself in case this guy tries to do anything? Since I'm naturally suspicious of him now.
I don't know. What do
Oh,
you want?
you're
What do
suspicious
you,
of
what
me.
do you want to try to do?
I don't know. Never mind. Just forget it.
Why are you
14-year-olds forget really quick, so.
Yeah,
Alright.
definitely
Wait, what
not hold
happened?
grudges.
I don't
Oh yeah,
even
that was the
remember.
dream.
Don't worry about it.
Well, you don't know actually.
So
Nobody.
You
knows.
weren't paying attention.
I
Yeah,
wasn't
same.
here.
Nothing
Yeah.
happened.
Like,
He had a bad
That was-
dream.
That was the
Second
him
night.
drinking up high the dream.
let's see.
But why did you do that?
He just wanted to fuck.
He did it
with
to
Cora.
fuck with him.
Oh, okay.
On the 4th night of your travel,
Why?
all the rest of the group rests. Take a moment.
Enough like
The quiet of the surrounding farmland. You guys haven't really seen too much of anything, so you feel a little bit comfortable. Step away from the group. Sit down. Pull out the tome, and as you pull out the tome, you can see that it transforms from the very plain-looking book that you saw before to that same old, thick leather with the metal, with the black iron clasps, with golden black runes, and the skull with the open latch. You take the time, you open up the book, and you begin to go through the process of casting your detect or identify. Got a lot of reading.
Holy shit. Oh my god. Holy shit.
Thank you.
So,
I want to name that big. Jesus.
as you
You gotta sit here.
no, you can read that and decide what you're going to do with it.
It's not an Atlas shrugged. I mean, come on.
As you take the time,
Come on. What a stupid reference. Get out of here. Just read your goddamn book.
as you take the time to read the book, which you can read that and finish it after
Yeah.
about the span of about 20-30 minutes. You take a moment and blink and look around you, and you can see that all the plants that are around you are all withered, and dried, and dead. In about a 30-foot radius all around you.
I bet a druid would be pissed about that.
Some druids would.
Lily has a horrible nightmare.
Take a
It's
moment
time
to
for
close the book.
Tentacles.
said
Standing up with it,
nightmare,
you
not
can
wet
see that the
dream.
book goes back to the plain tome appearance that it had before. And while you take the time to read that,
Yeah.
so that you can go and return back to your group.
As I inspect it, they're just withered and dead around me.
It is as if that they have been dead for weeks.
Ooh. And then I walk away in the grass outside of the circle.
It is as if
Like
an
regular-
exact 30-foot radius from where you were sitting. All plant life is dead.
Alright, I'm just gonna put that book away and just continue.
Okay. So, as you guys continue to travel,
Nothing wrong with that.
you guys are about you guys are on the 6th day of travel. Korak and Zarn, I need you both to make perception checks.
We haven't hit the other part of the river yet.
No, you have not.
I'm deciding if I should have raised this.
Natural one.
I got an 18.
So, the two of you are staying up for watch, doing whatever it is you two do on watch.
I challenged him to an arm wrestle at one point.
Oh,
So I wanted to
absolutely.
stay up. I wanted to test my strength with my gauntlets.
I mean,
Okay. So, the two of you find a nice flat rock near where the two of you are. You both...
I'm gonna rage beforehand.
Oh,
Okay. So you go into a rage, and as the two of you lock, count 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and roll athletic checks.
That is 11.
19.
19. So the two of you lock into it, just locking eye to eye. Korak, you start to push him a little bit further, and Zarn, you struggle. You can feel your sweat beginning to build up underneath the gauntlets that you're wearing. As he starts to push you back again, I need you both to make athletic checks again.
23.
21.
21. Zarn, digging deep, beginning to feel the gauntlets, the strength surging through you. You push him back to about even.
I imagine while he's raging, he's just screaming in my face. Like spittles flying
No,
out.
it's a quiet rage right now. I'm not trying to wake everyone up.
We're not getting any sleep at all.
You can see that he's got his teeth gritted, and he's not. And as he's doing that, you can start to see the spittle and the foam beginning to form a little bit around the edges of his lips. Go ahead and both roll athletic checks again.
20, unnatural 20.
Oh, that's 21! I was like, that's awful. And then I said, oh.
Korak, you start to push him back again. Zarn, you're struggling. Go ahead and roll athletic checks again.
Oh, that's not fun.
Ah, it's gonna be a 13.
What is it?
Only a 13.
13?
Initiative.
19.
Zarn, you're struggling, trying to hold him back. You feel yourself starting to push him back a little bit. And then you hear a rustle in the bushes.
My rolls are so bad, I had to rage.
And you snap out of it, and Korak, taking that opportunity, feeling it, just boom, slam his hand down, and Zarn, you kind of fall with it and fall away from the rock, and as you do, you turn, as you see in the firelight, in the darkness behind you, see a set of eyes looking.
There's something here.
Well, I grunted loudly as I won. It was not a gracious
I immediately grab my weapon and I say, "Halt!" Or I pretty much yell that we have company.
Go ahead and roll for initiative, everybody.
Ooh.
But I'm sleeping.
Shut up, Tim. Just roll. Natural one?
But because I'm
Get to reroll
naturally
that.
lucky, I get to
There we
read.
go.
Oh, that's bullshit! It was
Oh.
on the book. It fell off.
Well,
Give me a second here.
Before we get initiative, can I use the bathroom? No.
Yeah, if you want to do it real quick, I'm getting things ready here.
I'll crawl under, Troy.
Okay. See you later. It is
actually,
actually probably
do you have
take
those-
our
do you have those small
break.
cards?
Well, that's what I meant. I just...
Or are they all somewhere else?
Yeah, we can do that while I get the encounter set up and everything. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break for people to use the restroom. Whenever we come back, we will have the encounter set up and ready to go. So we'll be back in just a few minutes, guys. If you like it, say something in the chat. We'll actually be looking at this time.
Shit, I should
I'm gonna
say.
go grab snacks.
Griner, don't
Where?
fill it
More?
with
No, from
horrible
the
things.
Your apartment?
refrigerator.
I love the kicker.
What do you got? What can I buy from you?
Great
No, why isn't the camera
CVS is
switching?
quickly becoming my favorite pharmacy.
Oh yeah.
They stopped doing they stopped selling.
We're back, boys. All right.
It costs 99 cents at CVS!
Shit, someone left the kitchen
Camera
light on.
here.
Rusty can get it. Rusty, use your magic.
You a little bit. Okay.
I cast darkness.
I think we'll be good.
Aura of darkness.
have that spell.
Or do
He's
I?
actually a dark cleric of the light.
No, I'm
so-
still playing with the camera. No.
Dark cleric
I
of
was
the
just
light.
talking
One cannot
about.
true with the master of the light without the power over darkness.
It's true.
Alright.
Because what is
So-
darkness but the absence of the light?
Guys, we're back.
Bingo.
So you see that the crossbow lifted up at you as you turn, draw out one of your weapons.
Sacred flame, sacred flame,
Initiatives. 25 to 20.
I guess.
We're up to
Well, I
go.
got a natural 20, so plus,
I'm sorry, did you say 25 to 20?
Yeah.
22.
I guess 22 then.
22 is going
You
first.
He got a natural 20 though. Mine was not.
Alright, I'll go.
Unless you want me to go first. Is that how it works? When we
It
decide?
just means that you'll wake
If
up.
you're
once the surprise
tied-
runs over.
Well, technically,
But he did get a natural 20.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I
if,
but
you're, if you're
literally-
tied, you guys get to decide. whichever
Literally,
one you
initiative
choose
is the
first.
one roll where getting a natural doesn't do shit.
Right. Do you want to go first or you want to go second?
Whatever.
That's how. Pick first.
Okay, I'll go first. Alright.
Way to make him fucking commit to one or the other.
Hi. It's like you don't know me.
Grapes are a good purchase. I should buy grapes.
They are.
Fuck your
We're
grapes.
dangerously
grapes?
different.
20 to 15.
17.
18.
Grapes.
Yep, I'm gonna be last.
The plastic ones?
Yeah. I only eat raisins.
Raisins are good too.
I fucking hate raisins.
No, they aren't. They're
You
awful.
really hate raisins?
I hate raisins.
Actually, I don't hate them. I can tolerate them.
No,
Like,
I
don't.
Hate is
They're no
strong word.
mustard.
15 to
but-
10.
I don't think raisins should have.
10.
I love raisins.
Are we getting in a raisin theological discussion on their value, non-value,
No.
evil? and-
No, we're getting into initiative here. That's what we're doing.
If we're not, it's on the way.
Okay.
Next
A
time.
bear.
We're gonna put a poll up on the
Korak.
Twitter handle. And,
We're not.
Raisins or not raisins?
Hashtag not all raisins.
We're not doing that. It's not a thing we're doing.
He can't stop us. He's just a DM.
If you
You're
comment,
right. I'm just God. That's
You
all.
can't.
That's all I am.
if you guys comment, then it won't matter what he says.
That's true.
Comment.
The dead remains of
Hashtag
Tiamat, so
All,
they
all
revive.
three of you. Do you like raisins or
Okay.
not?
This is really important, guys.
Shannon, what do you like? Raisins? or
Starting
not?
up. Korak, you're up.
I thought he was first.
He's asleep. We're in the surprise round.
Oh shit! Surprise round. I have to rage. Wait, I'm already raging.
You're already raging.
That's
You
right.
are currently in your rage, yes.
I mean, honestly,
Do I-
unless
do
it's
I-
just like a really long arm wrestling.
So, so Zorn pointed out this person. Am I aware?
You heard him yell something. Roll me a perception check.
Okay.
I think it's +3. There's a lot of big things there. I don't know what they are yet.
Hey, natural 20.
Okay. So taking a look around real quick, you see immediately the guy that is pointing the bow at Zarn right now, and real quick you also see another one that is also pointing a bow at Zarn, as well as a large man holding two weapons, kind of hunched down in the shadows, and you can actually
How far away are they?
this distance.
Oh shit.
No, you rolled a natural 20, so you can see these two over here getting ready as well.
Okay. So I have 5 guys in range, or 5 guys in view.
Yep.
4 of them are ranged people.
Yeah, essentially all of this is it's like high, like cornfields, wheat fields,
Okay.
whatever it is, and they're all like hunched down here.
Those are horses over there?
Yes, this is all your horses over here, and this
Oh,
is.
shit.
I was like, is there just a bunch of like riders coming in? On
No,
the
no, no.
street?
They're all tethered up to this tree.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take out some javelins and throw them.
Who you throwing them at?
Let's go. Let's go to it. The closest ranged dude.
So that would be the guy that's on spot initially.
Wait, where am I compared to him?
You're right here,
Where's Zarn? Right by me.
right here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Let's just make it simple and go all the way on the left.
So here.
My left. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay. I'll go and make your test.
And I will go ahead and do so recklessly.
All right.
So that would be a 25.
25. That's a hit.
Oh, I'm sorry, 26.
Still a hit.
And a natural 20.
Also a hit.
I actually lost my javelin damage. Can anyone remind me
It's
real quick?
1d6.
1d6? Alright, so I roll the first one. That would be a 3 plus... Shit, see? This is what always confuses me. So I get plus 3 rage damage.
Plus your strength modifier.
Plus 4 is my new strength modifier. So I get plus 7.
And then...
Do I get the plus... No, because it's not that weapon. Okay. I was just
Correct.
kidding before whenever I said 26. It's actually 25.
Oh, okay. So, hold on one second.
This is a
One
tasty
melee
Miller Lite.
It ain't bad, actually.
Sorry. Go ahead and... How much was it again? How much damage was it for the first hit?
Hold on, wait. I need to check my rage damage, because I think I was wrong about what I said.
Should be the first page.
First page? Yeah, I was wrong. So it's plus 2 plus 4, so it's 6, 9 total. For the
9
first.
damage for the first hit,
Yeah.
okay.
And then the
And
second...
then the second one is your natural 20.
Should I roll 2 dice, or do I just roll 1 and double it, or is it my choice?
It's your choice.
Dealer's choice? I like rolling. Roll the dice.
Heavy rolling.
That's... and then each one gets a plus strength bonus? And,
No,
Or,
it's just the total of your dice
okay.
plus whatever your static modifier damage
Okay,
is.
cool. So that would be 2 plus 4 is 13.
13. Alright. So that's... Okay, you pull out your 2 javelins, throw them into him. Kind of catches him off guard. The one thumps fully into his leg, and he kind of staggers. Just the second one kind of glancingly hits off the kind of hits off his shoulder, and almost makes him fully drop his bow. And you hear him kind of cry out in pain as he goes to level up the shots against you.
And I will also step over to Zorn, make sure that he's behind me with my shield ready to go.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up is
Rusty, right?
nope. Rusty's still asleep.
Oh shit, we're still in the surprise round.
Good old snooze.
Next up is
Shit!
this one here.
Had I remembered that, I would have yelled something.
Well, everyone is kind of in the process of waking
Okay.
up because Zarn yelled.
So
But yeah.
Like that. That's the sound of yelling.
I am a bard. Yeah, I saw them and I was like,
That's our battle cry.
This one here.
That's the secret code for the battle.
This one here levels after he had the shot aimed at Zarn, aims it more fully at you, but you see him just kind of leveling out the shot and keeping an eye, just like kind of watching in this direction. As you see, this one over here comes over to this horse here,
Oh, motherfucker.
They're trying to steal our goods.
pulls out a dagger and cuts the rope,
Oh,
and mounts up onto the horse.
so rude. I thought you were going to say cuts at the throat. I was like, that's so savage.
No, he mounts up onto the horse, and as he kind of turns the horse a little bit, and just kind of moves it a little bit. But as he goes to move it, he also goes to kind of pull out a dagger, but he kind of flips it around to throw it, but can't do anything else with it at this point. Next up.
What is mounting something considered? Is that an
Is this
action?
even-
I was wondering that
That
too.
should be like half your movement.
That's what I was thinking. Half movement. Is that what it is?
Are these guys like humans?
Yeah. Next up, you see this guy here, another enemy's card. This one here, he comes running over towards you. You see, as he comes running out, he brandishes a long sword and a battle axe, and he's wearing half plate armor. And as he just comes running up, he says, He said, "You might have won that test of strength. Let's see how you do against me." As he goes in for 4 attacks against you.
Bring it, motherfucker.
4 attacks.
That's a lot.
Jesus.
All with advantage.
That's true. Shit.
First one is a 15.
Miss.
Second one is a 16.
Miss.
Nice. Third one is a 19.
Hit.
Fourth one's a natural 20.
Yeah, that misses.
So the first hit is 5 points of slash damage, reduced to 2. Second one is oh no, because it was the fourth attack. It is 11 points reduced to 5.
7 total.
7 total. However, with that, the other one with you now moved into melee with it, seizes that opportunity and fires off a shot with his crossbow. That's a... What's supposed to attack? That's a 19.
Miss.
Oh yeah, because you have... I forgot, yeah. So as you... So taking the 2 hits from that, the second natural 20 kind of... or the second hit being the natural 20, that axe kind of sinks into your arm a little bit, and you stagger back, and as it does, you feel your arm just kind of naturally pull a little bit further, kind of unsinking the axe, and the arrow just naturally coming back and catching it from going into your side. Okay. Sindal's asleep still. Zarn.
The one that just got on the horse. I assume I can see the guy getting on our horse. With this like,
yes.
All right. So the guy that's on our horse. I look over at him and I say, "You've chosen a poor life. Is this really what you want? To steal people's horses? Why don't you join us and get him, and redeem yourself?" And I cast suggestion on him.
Get him.
What's your saving throw?
That's a 17.
17. You see as he kind of flips his dagger, you see that with the
+5.
he kind of stops the horse. He kind of looks at you confused.
Proficiency.
Kind of nods his head, and as he turns, he goes to continue to have the dagger flipped. Pulls it out towards there.
And then I'm gonna back up a little bit just to be kind of out of
that should be
melee. So like, just the other side of the fire.
Okay. Actually, I forgot about something.
Everyone's getting up.
You go to protect him, and he's just like,
get away from me. You dirty half-orc.
At least I didn't cast greater invisibility and completely disappeared.
Well, that would have been fine. I would have been alright with that. Wait, so hold on. Did suggestion work? Do I notice?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you would have noticed.
It would be like +9.
Well, I thought. I mean, my perception was natural 20, so I'm going to say I noticed. But
I'm checking something on sleep.
Eric didn't notice what happened. I think Korak would have.
You probably
I think
heard
we
me
have
say
to
something.
Okay,
roll
so-
a perception in order to wake up or something. I don't know.
Well, no, the shouting would have woken you guys up. I was rolling to see if you're technically aware of your surroundings. You kind of are,
Right.
but you're in like a meditative state. So
Oh, I see. Right.
I'm still rolling that as
Sleeping.
for trance. Yeah.
Hmm.
So suggestion, concentration. Okay, and then the last part is these enemies here. You see this thug here, the third fucker. This one here goes to run up to the horse, and he tries to grab the rope for it, and the horse starts bucking, and he's sitting there like trying to pull the horse down to like calm it down to actually be able to cut the rope without any problem, but he seems to be struggling with it.
That's Vay's piece. Vay is stealing the horses from us.
Is that an animal handling check? That's awesome. Animal handling checks to steal your horses.
This one here takes 2 steps over to get a better shot on his original target, and thumps off a shot with his crossbow. Use Arn.
I try.
That's a 19 versus armor class.
Right here.
Okay. Take 4 points of damage, 4 points of piercing damage. I need to make a concentration check.
That is going to be plus. Was it Constitution?
It's a Constitution.
That's only a 9.
9. You feel your suggestion slip off as you see. You kind of take the hit and you stop and you turn to see as the guy kind of nodding his head and looking towards that guy. He turns and looks more fully towards you, a look of anger coming across his face. We're back up to the top. A bear. You kind of coming out of your sleep. You are currently prone on the ground, no armor, no shield equipped.
Stand up.
That is half your movement.
Everyone sees my glorious body.
How's that dong look?
It's swinging.
Glorious.
And it's not stopping.
Swinging and
Lily, you're not awake yet.
Lily.
It's sparkling, actually.
You are here.
Just wait. Just you wait.
It's translucent like his hair.
There's this here, adjacent with Korak.
It waves in a wispy kind of way.
What are you doing?
Actually, dude who seems who's on horses who's not horses that are not his. Whole person.
Okay. He rolls an 18.
Shit.
Yeah, that's high.
Full horse.
As you take a step forward, you kind of naturally reaching down for your hammer of the light for your holy symbol. The hammer begins to glow as you go with the incantation, and in this kind of dark light, the horse kind of naturally bucks the sudden flash of radiant energy. And as you start to feel the spell hold on to him, that your sudden break in line of sight as the horse bucks, it comes back down, and he seems to still be.
I just
in control of
realized
himself.
I would have had a bonus to my saving throw because I'm besides Benavir, who is Aura.
He has to be conscious for
Very
it.
conscious. Alright.
Ooh.
Yay.
Fair enough.
So that was action, half of movement. I don't think there's anything else I can do.
Okay.
So
Did they?
Where do you want to move to?
I'll just move back here.
Okay. Korak, you're up.
Okay, so how far am I from this guy on the horse?
The guy on the horse is all the way over here. You're up in melee with this guy that's come running up in like the half plate with the
Right. The guy who
long
attacked
sword
me
of
4
battle
times.
axe. Yep.
Is there only one guy on the horse?
There are 2 people over here. The one is up on the horse. The other one is attempting to stop the horse from bucking
Okay.
and get back up onto it.
And how far in feet is he from me? Just so I know.
About 30 feet.
Alright, I'm gonna run at him and try to tackle him off the horse. I'll take that attack of opportunity, that's fine.
Opportunity with advantage. That's a natural 20.
Is it advantage still if he has no attacks and stuff?
Oh, yeah, no, it wouldn't.
I don't know.
I'm going to check to see if it's
I think it's until the start of your next turn, but
I'm-
I could be wrong.
I'm going to double check that. Fast movement, brutal grip.
God, I have such a great plan to prevent this, but I'm so far down the initiative
Attacks
order.
against you have advantage until your next turn. So,
Alright.
so he misses.
Hey.
So you kind of, as you go to turn and run, you kind of duck underneath the swing of his sword. And what's your movement speed?
40.
Okay, go ahead and roll an athletics check.
Is that strength?
Yes.
What does AC without armor?
10 plus your dexterity.
25.
25. Okay. So you come running towards this guy, and you go to leap up at him, in the saddle, up on the horse, and you hit into him. And in the process, the horse kind of tumbles with you. You've got a good vertical leap, but to vertical leap, like spear him, like 6 feet up in the air. That's an impressive thing. No, you're coming running up and jumping at him, and the 3 of you.
Just 3.
I mean, I rolled a 19.
The poor horse takes damage.
Just one away.
You bump into the horse, and the horse kind of naturally takes with the hit. But as it kind of steps inside and kind of sidesteps around this way, bucking as it's about to go, you kind of naturally still have your arm wrapped around him and just rip him down from the saddle and throw him down on the ground prone as you are standing next to him as the horse is now cut free.
And that counts as an attack, correct?
That's one of your attacks.
Alright, let's take the other one against him.
Okay. And this is naturally at advantage.
I thought so, alright. I wasn't sure. I was going to say recklessly if I needed to.
So you pull out your long sword, I assume.
The equipment
correct.
armor takes like what, 5 minutes?
Wait, is it +2 or +1?
It was a +2 sword.
Oh, I wrote down +1.
It depends on the type of armor you have. But
Me?
yeah, what's your
Wait,
type?
depends on what type of armor.
No, that doesn't matter. I was answering Albert's questions.
So wait, is the longsword +2?
It's +2 longsword, yeah.
Shit. I'm right.
Because
I wrote
I have my
+1.
cloak
So anyways,
Does it take
that's
long
a
term
25
to
to
put
hit.
on cloak?
25? Yeah, that's definitely a hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
And that's 1d8?
Yep.
That's not a great roll, but 3 plus 11.
All right. Yeah, you come down with your sword, and him kind of barely managing to roll out of the way. You still manage to cut a deep cut onto his side. You feel kind of the sword kind of scrape against his rib cage as he cries out in pain and starts to roll to try and stand himself back up. Anything else?
I'm gonna yell, they're after the horses! And that's all.
Okay. Next up is Cutthroats. He's going to step up and step around you to the side as he pulls out a short sword and dagger and goes in for 2 attacks against you. Short sword. You did not attack recklessly, correct?
Correct.
So that's a 17 versus armor class.
For what? With what?
Shield.
Wait, no, I have my shield up. We're good. It's a miss.
And then the second attack. Dagger misses even worse. He goes in and swings in with his short sword. And with your sword, you manage to just throw his dagger out wide, and he loses his grip on it. And you see him look more than a little concerned. This one here. Seeing his opportunity with everyone kind of starting to stir at this point. He comes running up to you, goes in for 2 attacks against you.
When you say you, did you point? I'm sorry.
He moved up to Sindal Square. First attack's a 22.
Yeah.
So that was with advantage, so it's sneak attack.
Troy, your dude Oglin just messaged us. What's that? Your dude Oglin just messaged us.
Oh, yeah?
You take 19 points of damage from the short sword as it stabs down into you, and then he hits you with the dagger.
No.
That's an 18 versus armor class.
Yes.
Okay.
Am I technically...
You are conscious at this point in combat. It was after the first round you were not. At this point you are awake.
Okay, so I'm going to cast shield down on you. I had
Okay.
that prepared from the day before.
Alright, so yeah, as the short sword stabs down into you, you fully come awake at that point, just in time to see the dagger flashing down towards your chest, and you throw out your hands real quick. There's a sparkle of arcane energy as the shield deflects the dagger wide from piercing down. That's the end of his turn. Next up is this guy here. Seeing Korak having run over that way towards to deal with those guys, he's going to run towards the bulk of the group over here. He's going to do 2 attacks against you and 2 attacks against you. First 2 attacks against Zorn are a 21 and an 18.
Those both hits?
You take 9 and 9, so 18 points of damage.
Ouch.
And then 2 attacks against you. First attack is a
How do you calculate the?
It's
what
just
was it?
10 plus your dexterity modifier.
Okay.
That's a 13 versus your armor class.
Yeah, that hits.
And then the other one is a 25. So first one does 11 points of damage.
Awarding flags.
Okay. Natural 20, so it's still. So the first one is 11 points of damage. The second one is 7. As he takes 2 longsword slashes against you with his axe, he brings down 2 slashes into you, very easily managing to cut into you without any armor to help protect and deflect some of the blows from.
How much did you say it was?
It was 11 and 7, so 18 total points of damage.
7-11.
7-7.
Next up is Sindal. You, I assume, stand up.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see here. I have to take just a closer look here. I think I know what I'm gonna do. Just gotta make sure it's right. Alright. What I'm gonna do is cast. I'm gonna grab the staff of ice and draw a line of ice through everything.
Everything.
Well, there
must
you go.
die.
That's what just happened.
I'm going to hit the person. I think I'm on the far side. I'm going to hit the person next to me. I'm going to drive it all the way and try to wrap it around the horses.
Wait, so like around, like the whole way around the horses?
Just like generally, not like a full circle around the horses, but like.
Okay, so 10, 20, 30, 40,
Who's John? John Coveney.
50. What do you say?
John's in Vegas.
60. How far can you draw?
100.
60, 70, 80.
It's like Fremont Street.
Sorry, so you can kind of loop it straight around this way and manage to catch these 3
Sure.
in the process.
That's the plan then.
What's the saving throw? What's the saving throw for the staff?
That's it.
Man, mine's not good. His is just so bizarre.
But using mine, so 17.
Okay. So the guy up against you fails. The guy that's up against Korak succeeds, and the guy that's over here fails. So go ahead and roll the damage. Man. And how thick is the wall? Is it 5 feet or 10 feet?
The wall is 1 foot thick.
1 foot.
1 foot.
Okay.
10 feet high.
10 feet high, 1 foot thick. $35.
Alright, so 35. So
Damage? Nice. Fenrir up in this bitch.
Is that what level spell is that? Like 5th level?
it's a 6th level spell.
Oh, Jesus.
Pretty awesome. Do the charges come back per rest? Oh, that's awesome.
And then it's half of 35.
17.
17.
You are correct. It is 17. So you see as this the wall appears around, begins to appear, and just slowly, right around this guy where it appears, it's just right to his, it's right next to him, and it just rolls over him. And as it does, you see that the wall basically just like cuts straight through him and like flash freezes like the central part of his body, and you just see that the ice just kind of roll out around the front of his face as you just see that he is just frozen. He's flash frozen just straight through the center of it as the wall continues around through here, pushing this guy out of the way, taking the damage from it. This guy taking the damage as well. Not faring very well. He gets pushed to about here with the horse. as you see that the wall continues to wrap out around, kind of trapping the horses in this direction.
Did the horse get hurt?
No, the horse was not hurt. He was kind of on the backside of it trying to pull it down. Do you want to do anything else?
I take his bloody dagger that he stabbed me with off his frozen hand out from the wall.
Make a strength check.
Yeah, stab him in his face. A natural 19.
Okay.
Minus 1, so 18.
Minus 1. Okay. So yeah, as you kind of reach in and kind of reach your fingers in underneath it, just kind of pull it off. You see as 3 of the fingers kind of and hit the ground, still just frozen solid. You're holding the dagger now, very cold. The dagger clean because it never actually struck you. It was the short sword.
Oh,
the stab but you're holding the dagger.
Less fun.
Alright, it's fine, whatever. I'm gonna move.
You have 15 feet of movement.
So I'm gonna move. What's Fenrir up to?
He's currently in the process of getting ready to
I'm gonna
stand up.
move towards and past Fenrir as best that I can.
5, 10, 15.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
I see you walk.
Zarin, this guy's up in melee with you.
Very different goals.
Yeah. Oh shit, I was on the page for it. Oh no, I have the card. That'll fuck everybody. Alright, I'm just gonna cast Dissonant Whispers on him.
Okay. That's a 3.
Alright, so yeah, that was, I mean, on the guy that was right in front of me.
Yeah, I figured.
So he takes 9 points of damage and has to run away.
Okay. That should provoke an attack of opportunity from both of you. As he suddenly turns.
From me?
That would be a 19.
19 hits.
11.
Misses.
+9 to your attack.
Those gauntlets, man.
8 plus 5, so 13 damage. Yeah.
Okay, you slash in, and what weapon is that with? The
Longsword. My +1 longsword.
Okay, yeah, you slash with the +1 longsword, managing to dig in and catch a bit of unprotected body from the half plate. You go to swing in with your hammer and manage to catch him on his shoulder guard. As he just turns and just keeps running, you can see his long, burly hair just kind of flowing behind him as his eyes just kind of turn wide and he just turns and just flees from you.
And I'm gonna just move and reposition myself a little bit, like kind of here, just in case he comes back.
Okay.
Everyone else is still laying down.
Lily, you're up.
Hooray!
So you stand up. And that's you have 10 feet of movement left.
Fuck! Is that horse near me?
It's right here. This is the one that's currently.
Can I get on top of it with my remaining movement?
No.
Can I get to it to grab it? And calm it the fuck down in case it tries to run away?
10. Make an animal handling check.
Oh, I will make an animal handling check.
You're gonna fail it too.
I get to re-roll that because it's a 1.
Is that 7?
25.
25. As the horse is turning to start. Actually,
Oh, 7.
that's 25. It absolutely can't roll high enough to beat that.
Oh, it fucking bows to. It actually kneels to.
That's not what happens.
The Night Mother rules all.
As the horse is turning to run fully, you just get yourself as big as you possibly can. You just throw yourself up trying to grab up to it. And the horse, still kind of spooked from everything, stops and kind of turns and jaunts over in this direction. And with the wall there and the fire here, the horse just kind of stops. And you kind of grab onto it and it pulls you just a little bit. But you get pulled along and the horse is calm now.
What's going on with the other horse? The one that guy's grabbing.
It's bucking still, him trying to grab it. But that was your action to try and handle the horse. Yeah, that's absolutely an action.
Yeah.
Tim, have you ever tried to wrangle a horse in real life?
No.
He just presses up and pats it real quick and it's good.
Hey, done.
No.
Well,
That's
I
your
guess
action
that's the end
to
of my
calm the
turn
horse.
then. I mean, what? There's nothing to do with my bonus action.
Healing word.
No.
I don't know what
Oh,
you
that's
got
right.
prepared.
Wait.
Why?
I love that our
healing word when
healers don't
nobody's been hurt.
I mean,
I've
We've been hurt pretty.
I've taken 20 damage so far. More than 20 damage.
I'm distracted
20
with the
damage
horse.
is like nothing though. So like,
For me.
I'm distracted with the horse.
You forget. You just happen to be one of the few one of the
That's
only
it.
2 characters that isn't a squishy marshmallow.
Fenrir
Battle
other-
stands up.
and the battle ends.
Actually, hold on. Wait a minute.
Fenrir
Might
stands
stay
up,
asleep.
and the enemies put their
Sleepy
weapons down.
Fenrir
Remains asleep.
is Sleepy Fenrir.
Oh my gosh.
Fenrir wakes for nothing. However, Lune, on the other hand,
Hayes awake, but Fenrir is not.
stands up
And bites him.
and just knowing that her master just does not wake up for anything, leaps over him. Actually, doesn't leap over him.
What a fun way to make it a balanced fight.
That's not what it is. He's Sleepy Fenrir.
He wouldn't.
Yeah, I know. I think it's great.
He's like the Pokemon RPG.
But we
He's
all
incredibly
deep
powerful,
down
but-
inside know.
25.
As soon as
So
he
Lune
gets a
has
turn,
to
it's
dash
over.
to
Right.
get to him. But that is Lune's full turn. This guy over here, freaking out, does manage to cut the horse free.
Fuck.
But take a look around. He doesn't actually have anywhere to ride the horse.
Stop.
Actually, you know what? No, he's still going to get up onto the horse and use half of his movement. And then he's just going to 5, 10, 15. He can fucking attack me.
Wait, it was a big centaur piece.
No, I just grabbed it. It's a horse.
Oh, okay.
It was the only thing I had that was like a horse. He starts to ride the horse forward and is it looks like he's aiming to go this direction. Albert, you're up.
Never gonna get another turn.
Roll hard. What is equipping a shield?
An action.
Will you allow me to equip a shield and then activate my Radiant Soul?
Is it an action to Radiant Soul?
It is.
Then no. It's 2 actions.
I'll Radiant Soul and then bonus action Shield of Faith.
Alright, hold on. Let me see if I can find the Naked Angel piece.
I'm just gonna grind everyone in my hard axe. The piece is so hilariously ripped.
What is Radiant Soul?
It's when I go into my angel form.
He starts flying around.
I really need to separate this one from all the other pieces. I don't know where it is.
The little bit of clothing you do have on it blasts off your body when you do this.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. As my character wakes up, I catch a sight of Albert, totally naked, his dick swinging.
And now I'm glowing radiantly with a
Now your body,
luminescent.
the rest of your body is now glowing as radiantly
I
as your dick.
imagine that
It's
you would
actually-
wear a loincloth.
No, Albert.
His dick is his line.
Why would you?
It covers
imagine
everything
that?
else.
No, I feel like we would have discussed this already if he was sleeping completely in the nude.
For this particular instance, being
Albert,
this
I'm
close
sorry, I
to
don't know
winter,
what the
of course I'd be sleeping in the nude outside.
This is the last chance I'll have.
Ah, so brisk, my nipples are like diamonds.
I don't know what Radiant Soul this whole piece is. I'll have to find it later. But
I can't use it now.
Rusty probably took it home with him.
you stand up and you guys see, with just the faint glow of the campfire, you
The
see
faint glow of
suddenly,
the campfire suddenly dwindling.
yeah, you see it paled in comparison to the flashing radiant light as you see 2 spectral wings go arching out from Bear's back, almost hiding the fact that he's completely naked and now his entire body is glowing. But
There's just
What
a
do you
spark.
do?
There's just like a bright
Yeah.
sparkly over
Is the
his
brightest cloak
That's my
coming
shield
from
of
his
faith.
groin?
Oh, and then you use your bonus action to cast Shield of Faith as even more radiant light sparkles around you, and your body matches the same glowing light that is around your wings. Are you moving at all?
How much movement? Oh, I have my total movement. That's what? 30 feet?
30 feet.
I don't want to fly 30 feet in the air because then I'll be in range of the. Wait, of those other two dudes that are behind the ice wall. Actually,
Oh shit, I forgot about this guy. No, I missed this turn.
I'll
He's
fly
walked
10 feet into
outside.
the. I'll fly 10 feet into the air. And 5 feet over to just one square back, yeah.
Anything else? Oh, I guess it's pretty much.
Bonus
Right.
action, action, and movement.
Korak, you're up. There's this dude in front of you here that is still squared up against you, and then there's the person on the horse who is attempting to bolt.
Yeah, I'm gonna run that guy down.
Okay. So I mean, you can't really run him down. He's right next to you at this
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna let him go.
point. Okay.
I'm gonna tag him off the horse. this is what I do.
running
Well,
around
you
tackling on horses.
can't.
Right
How
now.
does tackling work? Do you have to have a run up on him to be able to tackle?
That's a good question. I have no idea.
I mean, if not, you're basically just grappling him and pulling
Well,
him
if
down.
not, I'm gonna take like 2 steps that
And
way
he gets-
or 2 squares that way, and then run at him.
You're gonna accept the opportunity
The other
attack.
guy's just stabbing you in the
Just-
side.
Yeah,
You
fuck
just
him.
fuck him.
I don't give a shit about him.
I mean,
No, I mean you can just attempt to shove him.
Wait, which one? The guy on the horse?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the plan then. Let's knock him off the horse.
Target you shove.
Or can I try to pull him off the horse instead, so it's less?
Do you have to
Competitive.
move forward enough to shove?
You don't
Is
have
that
to.
just
You
a-
don't have to move to shove. You
Okay,
can just
that's
shove.
that.
Can I just
that's
grab
the
his
chart.
leg and pull him off the horse?
That's the
And
chart.
we'll call it
yeah.
a shove.
Make an athletics check. I'll say it would be with disadvantage because the horse is moving away from you and you're just trying to reach out, but so that just cancels out to a normal
Yeah.
athletics for you.
24.
24. Yeah. So you, as the horse is going, you reach out and you now have a hold of his leg as the horse is still moving. You have him grappled.
I haven't grappled?
You have him
No,
grappled.
I have him grappled.
with one hand.
With one hand, you have him grabbed at this point, but you haven't pulled him off yet.
What's it take to pull him down? Is that another?
It would
is
be
my
another
second attack?
attack. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. Make another athletics check.
And it's not a disadvantage because I
You
have him already.
grappled, so I'll say yeah.
18.
18. Yeah. So you have him grappled at this point. As the horse continues to move in this direction, he does not go with the horse anymore. As the horse is suddenly pulled out from under him, as you just slam him down to the ground, prone, as you stand over him with his ally there next to you. Anything else?
I should really look into what I can do with my bonus actions.
Just rage. Pretty much all you
Is that pretty much it?
really have at this point. As you pull him down, go ahead and roll me a d6. It's just a d6 of bludgeoning damage. Plus your strength.
Plus strength?
Yeah.
I bet
6
him.
total.
He grabs it and just dragging a little bit, just jigs his feet into the ground, just like.
Yeah. Well, you more or less just totally out of instinct, just reach out and just kind of grab like the side of his tunic as he's going along, and you just wrench him out as he doesn't really have a good. Like, he doesn't have his feet in the stirrups. As you pull him out and the horse falls out from underneath him, you just slam him down. With the momentum, he falls and kind of tumbles back further, and you hear his head hit the ground, and there's just a sickening crack as he hits the ground and just goes totally limp.
Alright.
And that is...
Do I have movement left?
You haven't moved at all.
And there's this guy right in front of me. Is there anything else going on?
There's this dude that's over here.
Well,
and then
with the horse. I'm mostly concerned about the horse.
this horse is still in the process of bolting,
Shit.
but it is away from you at this point.
shit.
I can't chase the horse.
Just leave it to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that shit there.
Just leave it to
And
me.
there's still that guy
I have
right
a
beside
plan.
me, right?
Turn them all into raisins.
Yeah, there's still this dude here.
I have a plan.
Is it to turn them into
All right,
raisins?
I'm good then.
Okay.
'Cause I also have a plan.
Thanks. So this guy,
Have you seen my radiant doll?
taking a look around and seeing
Does she blush?
seeing the state that these are not
Heavily.
mere travelers.
And I am so
Takes this opportunity
right now.
to bonus action disengage away from you,
You are
and is
watching
going
Roses at
to
Versailles.
dash. 5,
That's literally it. There's petals of
20,
Troy. Right now I'm Roses at
acrobatics check.
Versailles. There are there's flower petals just moving
Yeah,
around.
and it's just to duck between these horses.
My hair.
They're running.
5, 10, and you just see this guy go running off into the brush. 25.
No one escapes.
There you see him go running off, and he's kind of ducking as he goes. That is his turn. That guy's flash frozen.
Wait, he's
Sindel.
not dead? Or is
This guy, he disengaged and is running. This guy, he's frozen in the wall, and when Sindel pulled the dagger out, his fingers just fell off, and his face is frozen.
I guess I'm gonna step forward towards this guy that's running. I don't have the card.
Spell cast.
Of course, the catapult. Of course, the spell that I want to cast is.
Okay. How far are you moving?
I'm going to.
You can go up
Did
to
you reach
Renee,
back on
honestly.
that stack and grab Prince of the Apocalypse?
He's the only one left, right?
No, there's the dude that's with Lune as well.
Oh, that's
Oh.
Oh no, don't worry about it.
I'm still gonna.
Actually, I lied. Before you do anything, he actually is supposed to have a turn. I forgot about it.
Okay.
Princess of the Apocalypse.
Look that up while he's doing that.
Forgetting about a lot.
This guy here,
Is that what my
seeing...
ASMR information's in, by the way?
No, it's in Volo's guide. Which is also overwatch. This guy, having turned and run, is going to turn and stop, and with this large wolf coming at him, is going to turn his full 4 attacks against her.
Oh, those guys here.
Oh no.
Her EC though.
Yeah, it's not.
Oh.
Jesus, she has 18 armor class.
Oh. It's fine.
So that's 1, 2. That is 2 hits. How does that look?
Think Albert's penis might be the first penis Lily has really seen.
Other than his arms and your
12.
Damn it.
I'm not even joking about that.
You see as Lune comes running up to him, he stabs his sword out and plunges it into a meaty chunk of her hide. Actually, no, she wouldn't have armor on.
Oh, meaty chunk.
So, shit.
Oh, that's
She takes 2 more
adorable.
hits.
Oh.
See, that's
I hate so much that the kobolds are dead. They're such a cute species.
Oh yeah, no. As Lune goes charging towards him, he kind of sidesteps and slashes with his axe, and just stabs 3 times with his long sword into her side, and you see her dissipate into a mist.
Tyler would be really mad about that if he was awake.
And he'll turn,
Oh, Goliaths.
and you just hear him as he kind of takes a look around and sees, sees this guy bolting off. You just hear him yelling off, "Where are you running? You pussy! There's fighting to be done!" And as he 5, 10, 15 goes charging towards Uzarn, and that will be the end of his turn. So no, you're up.
Okay. So that made an easier decision for me. So I'm going to step back a little bit away, the other direction. Thank you. And I'm going to cast a all or nothing. I'm going to cast a 5th level catapult.
All right.
On
How
him.
does catapult work?
Oh god.
So the concentration.
No, it is not.
Okay.
Choose one object weighing 1 to 5 pounds within range, is not being want to carry it, and it flies at the person. He makes a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. What item are you using?
I'm gonna look and find just a random little rock,
Equal to my level.
just, a decent sized rock, and just
Pick up a little, probably about this size.
yeah, sure.
You go to like toss it up like you're gonna catch it again, and then it just floats for a second, flies off in his direction. Dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
That's a 14.
That does not make it.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
Shit.
So it was like Fenrir, I need your dice.
Alright, let's see. Yeah, that would be. So let me make sure I get the math right on it.
So how much does it do at first level?
3.
So 3.
That's
And
first
then-
level, so plus 4 levels, so that's another 4, so that's 78.
78.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's all.
Do you need extra
With a
D8?
rock.
I've got him.
With
When I hit him in the head, his fucking head explodes.
Wizards
It's
are
like the whole penny falling in
Good,
the
man.
Empire State Building penny.
Which
I've heard it's a
Mythbusters
myth.
proved is not possible.
Wait, what did they prove?
I said
That
7
if
total,
you
right?
got hit by
So
a
that's
penny from
27.
the top of the Empire State Building, it won't kill you. It won't even really like hurt you.
Well, yeah, it's like they completely
Okay.
forgot that wind resistance
You,
is a thing.
The people
the
who
pebble
originally said that
floats
did.
in your hand.
Mythbusters.
Can we stop talking about Memphis? That's my turn done.
Well, if you're gonna wait till we're done, to be fair.
Shut the fuck up.
That's like
The rock floats in your hand, flies out towards him, and you see that it just goes flying forward, and you hear the sound of cracking ribs as you see it go. Goes flying straight through as you just hear him cry out in pain. As he's charging towards Zarn, you see him 1, 2, still charging towards you. Anything else?
My question for you is which Mythbuster took
I'm going to,
neither of them?
the horse that's, I'm gonna, can I say
This is the horse that is running in this direction.
in a direction. I'm going to attempt to start to begin to line myself around where the horse is running's trajectory.
Then you'll need to take.
And step backwards a little bit more to sort of, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it'll be in this direction.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do, but...
Okay.
You're not gonna worry about it.
Zarn.
He's just got a big hole in his stomach now.
He's got a. You
Well,
can
it's
see
like
that
a
there's
gunshot
like kind
wound
of
at this
blood
point. It's
kind
like,
of pouring from where it ripped through, but you just see him still just charging towards you. This
That's
look of anger on his
Just-
face.
only minorly horrifying. As he's running towards me, would you say any of his weapons that he's holding in his hands are metal, perhaps?
Yeah.
Cast heat metal on one of his weapons.
Okay.
Did you finish the long
Which one?
Yeah.
What does he have?
You
Sword and
bitch.
axe?
Yeah,
That's
battle
what
axe
they
and
do
longsword.
I'll cast on the battle axe.
It's
Okay.
both heavy duty weapons.
What does he need? What does he need to roll?
I haven't done freaking heat metal in a long time.
Constitution?
Yeah, I received
Heat metal
heavy
is
blows
a
from him.
const.
That's why I'm currently above
I want
him.
to see this.
I got no time to put on shields.
The card doesn't say all the other effects on it. I looked up in the book, my bad. Book race.
Book race on the roads.
Some two people always open the book.
Who will learn it faster?
Yeah, the two people is always me and then whoever else is casting the spell on it.
Yep. That's exactly right.
If the creature is holding where the object, creature must take a Constitution saving throw or drop the object if it can.
It needs to take a 2d8 no matter what.
You'd think we'd know every single
Doesn't
in
it
and
say
out of
that on
that
the
spell.
card?
It got a 13. So go ahead and
We
roll your
always
2d8.
joke about it, but I think we've only actually used it.
It's 11 damage.
I think it's
Pretty
It's
much.
pretty true, I think. We always joke about it because he killed a fucking
Okay.
guard with it.
Allegedly.
You see, which one did you
No,
use
you
again?
didn't.
No, you absolutely.
This is
didn't.
what-
This is
the
not a
axe.
court of law.
You see,
You definitely did it.
The heft of the axe as well as the head begin to glow this bright white hot red as you see him just drop it as it ting, ting, ting. He just still running towards you, takes the longsword in two hands.
And then I cast, I'm going to do an inspiration, and I say, while Fenrir sleeps, since Fenrir sleeps, we have to handle these creeps.
God,
Oh,
we're
this
just
is
For you,
rapping.
Karak, it's your turn to attack.
Yes!
We're gonna start fucking
You know,
rapping.
you were on a roll with the first one, and then
I said I said Karak instead of Karak, and then I was like, I have to say talk now.
Korak, take a D8 inspiration.
A D8.
Take-
Alright, I'm in.
a D8 worth of inspirational damage.
Anything else, Sar?
No, good.
Okay. Lily, you're up. This horse is barreling past you right now.
What does it cost to get on top of the horse I settled down?
To get on top of the horse and settle down, half your movement.
I'm gonna do that. This horse that's now running, I'm gonna cast polymorph on it
Wait, what?
and
I
turn
like
it into a turtle.
Okay.
That's actually
A fantastic idea.
Yeah. Believe it or not, I don't have a tiny turtle mini.
Fucking lazy ass.
Immersion broken!
Why do you have 3D printer?
Why do you even?
It would
Why,
turn into a little tiny black blob.
why do you even DM? God.
Alright, guys.
I
see
wanted
everybody
to
later.
do that when one of them was riding away on it.
Oh, that would so much better.
But my initiative was too low!
No, it wouldn't,
Korak should
because
rip everybody off
the
the
guy would have
horses.
crushed the turtle and
No, but then it would have just turned back into a horse.
He would have been like,
You see the turtle. You
I'm
see
pretty
you see
sure.
the horse mid gallop. Just go. Shoom. This little turtle just running as fast as its little legs can carry it.
I just want to think it has the same forward momentum as the horse. So it's just like
so it falls forward and lands on its back.
No, it doesn't.
No, it's just
No,
mid,
that's
just
fine.
mid stride. Just shoom.
Damn it.
Lily, that was brilliant.
Fenrir continues. Well, we'll see. Are you doing anything else, Lily?
Nope, I'm just super adorable now.
Fenrir continues just to be Fenrir.
I just imagine Lily has
Yes,
the
roll
biggest
15.
smile on her face right now, laughing.
Um,
An evil laugh, though.
Yes.
and the name is
This is your domain
Ouch.
right now.
enemies.
He just disappeared.
Well, you guys have no line of sight on him. That is
Until he emerges from the other side of the wall.
there. Aber, you're up.
Is that other guy still there?
What other guy?
The one underneath the tripod?
Oh, yeah, he's about that distance away from you at this point. So that it's about 10 feet past the
There's a
distance
dude
of
with
the
a sword
tripod.
about to cut my head off, just so you know.
How damaged are you?
I mean, I have 38, 35 HP, but
Nah,
that
you're
dude
fine.
fucked Fenrir, or Lune. You're fine.
Maybe I should have healed worded you.
Was that the 4 attack, dude?
Yeah.
He took
Alright.
7 hit points from me.
Alright.
What are you doing? Where are you moving?
I'll help you out, man. I'm gonna fly 20 more feet up. Do I get any? Do I see the dude who was on the other side of the ice wall?
Make a perception check.
I don't. I'm not currently holding my shield. It's bullshit. Well, that's still a good roll, though. 18.
18. In the kind of floating up into the air, looking out into this direction in the field for this guy that was over here, you can see the path that he is running through, and you kind of see some of the stalks kind of folding out, but he's beginning to fade out of your distance as your dark range or your dark vision only goes so far. And it is a very overcast night at this point.
Oh.
At this point, he's about 120 feet away from you.
So it definitely looks like he's just running away.
He's just running off into the distance.
Do I also
Seeing
cast-
all of a sudden his friend be flash frozen and hearing the screams of his friends as they're fighting, he's lost the will to continue on.
And I think I'm going to use my flame strike on dude that's attacking Troy.
What level was that?
Flame strike?
Yeah.
Should be.
Isn't that
I'm
area effect?
gonna arc it so it doesn't hit. The,
Zoran is
I am
dead.
reading how flame strike works.
Heat burns the entire forest.
I like how you. I just look over it, and he's just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna."
Zoran takes
I'm
80
like-
fire damage,
Oh,
dies, and the forest is now on fire. What do you do?
Florine Dense Forest?
I cast.
I wouldn't call it dense.
Ice wall. And then we go back to bed.
Go ahead and roll 46 fire and 46 radiant.
Balls.
Do you need some dice?
Not anymore.
What's your saving throw?
17.
Doesn't beat it.
Alright, from the fire. Wow, that's kind of... Alright, we got 10 fire damage.
A little below average.
14 radiant damage. And since I'm in my radiant soul form...
We're on stream.
He's just so excited.
Yeah, and since I'm in my radiant soul form, I can also deal an extra 8 radiant damage to him.
Isn't it equal to your level?
Yes. That's what I...
Aren't you level 9?
You should be. I think you should be 9.
Okay,
I'm 8.
that's 9 then. Yeah, 9 extra radiant damage.
Okay. So, Zarn, you see as he takes the sword in 2 hands and is still rushing towards you, you see suddenly the ground, like where he's standing, you see this divine light kind of cast down onto him, as well as over the tree, and this whole area basically back here, as suddenly there is this intense sudden flash of fire and light, almost as if the sun itself has suddenly woken up in the middle of the night, just flashes in front of you. And after about a moment, you can smell ash as the scent of the tree that it hit down on. The leaves are all instantly burnt away from it. All of the crops and grass that is around here are instantly burned, but not leaving fire behind. As the ground, as if smote by the holy light of God, strikes down around you, and you see the guy standing in front of you, smoke rising off of him. Why won't you fuckers just die?
Why won't he just die?
That's what I was thinking.
Anything else, Albert?
Jesus. Literally.
Are you letting us do that bonus action extra thing? No.
I'm going to start saying
How about? Yes, you can cast first level spells as bonus actions.
Fenrir, damn it.
Well, if it's a bonus action spell, so like you can cast a first level healing word.
Healing word. Oh dang, nah. I only have cure wounds prepared now.
Send some shit about
All right.
Florida and be like, Fenrir, bless you.
Anything else done?
Dude, Florida, I love that place.
Actually, perception check. How far is the other dude
I
away?
was just in Naples like a couple months ago.
Between taking the time to actually sit and try to see this guy, and then doing that kind of takes up the majority of your time.
Okay, then I guess that's
Alright, Korak, you're up.
How many guys do we have left? Just the one?
Just the one, and then there's the dude that's sprinting off away.
I don't fucking care about that guy. I'm gonna put my shield on my back and use my sword as a two-hander.
That guy on the ground dead.
Oh yeah, no, he's dead.
And I'm gonna come up and wreck this other motherfucker. I'm gonna attack him twice recklessly.
Alright, go make your attacks.
That's not great. 17?
17 hits.
Oh, nice. Okay.
This is America.
Second
Doesn't need to
attack.
be great.
We just made it great again, though. And that's a 25.
2 hits.
It's a
ahead and roll damage.
D10. What's a D10? It's these ones, right?
Yeah. It's the one that has 10 sides on it.
That doesn't matter what order I roll them in because I didn't crit. 7 and 5. So we've got one for 15 and one for 13.
Okay, how do you want to do this?
What's he doing? What was he doing? What was he up to? Is he attacking Zar or something?
You can just see this smoke coming off of him after his flame strike. He's kind of holding his longsword kind of low, still just looking up at Zarn. You can see his hair is kind of burned away. The remnants of what's left of his beard are kind of singed and burnt back. His one eye is kind of drooped, but he's still kind of charging towards Zarn as he kind of turns and sees you coming towards him. He kind of squares up a little bit. Not a lot of fight left in him.
Okay, so I'm going to slash him down across his chest and then shove it through his face. Nah, let's say throat. That's more realistic.
Okay. Yeah, so you can see as he kind of brings his sword up to block your blow, it just, as your swords make contact, his sword just gets knocked out of his hands. As it cuts down, you feel the sword cut through and slice through the clavicle. Just cut straight down across the front, maybe cutting about 3 inches across the front of his chest. As you see that he just kind of steps back, you just step back and lunge forward with your longsword, just sinking it straight through his throat before he can even cry out or make any sound, and you just hear the gurgling, his blood just starts to roll out the front of his throat as you stand there for a second. You tilt the sword up a little bit, and he just slides back from it and slumps to the ground.
The moment the fight ends, I just say, I think I'm about to retire from arm wrestling.
Horse thieves are the scum of the earth.
Where's the other horse?
What other horse? And I look around and I notice one's missing.
How do I know if this horse is calmed down? Actually, I'll go calm the turtle down before I turn it back into a horse.
Make an animal handling check.
17.
17. Okay, so you kind of take
It's
a
like a
moment,
very
still calming
angry
down the
turtle.
horse. You see Lily kind of slump down.
It does the little
Go
turtle
and
thing
step
and tries to
over.
bite the hand.
She picks up this little turtle, this little tortoise, and she just
Stares into its soul.
kind of scratches it under the chin. You just see the turtle just, and it seems very calm.
What the hell did that turtle come from?
You set it back down.
How long does polymorph last?
An hour.
Alright, I'll fucking turn it back into a horse.
You see Lily take a step back, and then
Do you have to cast another polymorph?
the
for
horse,
that?
the turtle suddenly
Can you
you
just
hear the
use
sound
it?
of the.
No, I was gonna just leave it a fucking turtle for
No,
a
I'm
while.
like-
No, is it a
Mechanically-
concentration spell?
No.
Do you just release concentration?
It's concentration.
Or do you have to cast another polymorph to...
No, you just release
okay.
concentration.
That's what I thought.
You guys see as Lily takes a step back, you hear the sound of the shell cracking as suddenly the tortoise goes and turns fully back into the size of a horse. As it just kind of freaks out again for a second, and then you just go up and pat it, and it calms down.
Well done.
And you taking a moment,
Yeah, diminish
the ice ball fades away. This guy falls, just still flash frozen.
I walk back over, throw the dagger down, then grab the short sword with my blood on it.
From this higher elevation, do I see anything standing out?
Make a perception check.
The ground coming at you very quickly.
Oops.
19.
19. You see this guy still. You can see the trail that essentially he left behind as he was running, and you can see also the trail that was left behind as the other guy went running in this direction. You don't see anything in particular from.
Alright.
I mean, and you can see the. It seems as if there was one trail that kind of came off from this direction.
And I
And
can
then-
surmise that's where the group came
That's
from.
where they kind of came from, yeah.
Alright, so I'll, my slow descending angelic.
As Albert's feet touch down the ground,
Two of
gracefully.
them are still running away. One's going off in that direction, and the other's headed off over yonder.
The wings fade away, and so does the glowing light, hiding his.
Hold your shield down a little bit.
Brisk out tonight.
It is very, very cold.
Perhaps it's the time of year we should stop sleeping in the nude.
I'm like blushing a lot, but at the same time, kind of tempted to keep looking.
A little bit wet.
Stop. She's like 13.
I just walk over and put my hand in front of Lily's eyes.
Watch me grind his face against my abs!
Where is your leader?
Fenrir.
Oh, what's up, guys?
Jesus Christ.
He doesn't wake up at all.
Rolls back over, goes back to sleep.
Can I? I'm just gonna inspect the big guy and see if he has any like kind of markings or anything that,
Can I inspect him for items?
like any like sort of group he's from or something like that.
Go make an investigation check.
Also, is there any fire left over from my flame strike?
No, because with the radiant element to it, it doesn't actually like cause more fire. It's kind of the radiant light to it kind of pulls the fire away from it as it goes. This tree stripped totally of leaves because it got caught in the blast of it,
But it's still alive.
and a little bit into the kind of crop area here, but there's not going to be really any real lasting effects to it.
28.
28. Looking over him, you don't see any type of markings. It seems like this guy, looking at it, you don't see any type of markings necessarily tying him to like a a thieves guild, or like you don't see anything with the mark of the order.
I guess that's the one.
But kind of looking over, you do see on his one arm a tattoo that looks like that it was kind of burned and maybe like kind of cut away a little bit, but it looks like it's some kind of military division, some kind of like military tattoo that he has. But it looks as if that it was scarred or attempted to be hidden. Looking over him as well, you find on him 230 gold pieces, as well as amongst the other three an additional 25. Or between the other two that are left. So
225 or plus 25 is.
I didn't find that shit.
255.
Also, you see that he is wearing a set of half-plate armor, as well as two finely crafted
That's what I
a
want.
long sword and a battle axe.
To be fair, I would defer to his arm. He gave me this awesome sword.
Kind of looking at the two of them, I mean, they're not
Mastercraft.
they're not mastercraft. I mean, they are finely crafted. They are military grade weapons. But and then looking at the other two weapons, or the other two people's weapons, they are more your standard run-of-the-mill weapons. It's something that a normal person can go and cut. More iron weapons as opposed to steel. That's what I find here.
They're fine. We might as well just keep them.
There's some sort of tattoo that was burned off. I wonder if he used to be part of like the military and NARC, or some other sorts of military faction around here.
I don't imagine it's uncommon for a thief to have been some sort of ex-military.
How long is there was like a rebellion like some years ago? How long ago was that?
You heard mention of it. You heard it mentioned once or twice. There was the Silverbane uprising about 20 years ago.
Perhaps he was a member. Does he look like he could be about that age where he was part of that?
I mean, he looks like he's in his. Make a. I guess your investigation check. It was in the 20s. He looks like he's like maybe early 40s, late 30s, early 40s.
He could have been part of that uprising, perhaps exiled after the fight was over.
Looking at the tattoo and really kind of getting a better note of it, you see that it is a three-pointed crown overlaid on top of a blue diamond.
The king of the north.
Something to ask about later.
But yeah. Do you guys want to do anything else?
I'm gonna take the half blade because that's pretty good for me. I might not throw it on yet. I have to decide. But
Yeah, I mean, like, I'd like to have a look at those weapons. Are they?
They're not magical. They're not mastercraft. They are just military weapons. Military grade weapons. I mean, they're a little bit older, but they are made of well-cut steel. Half plate, I believe, is 15 plus a max dex of 2, which is disadvantage on stealth checks.
oh, half blade gives disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Can I try to?
I'll take it then.
Can I try to grab the two javelins I threw? Any either salvageable?
One of them is salvageable. The other one, with this, with the one that got hit here, as he kind of ran forward, it got kind of ruined with the process of the ice wall flash freezing him.
Thanks a lot, Slim John.
But yeah, you also find amongst them one heavy crossbow and one light crossbow as well as about 20 bolts for each. If you guys are inclined to take those.
So 40 bolts and 2 crossbows. Hey, there's some crossbows and bolts over here. Is anyone interested?
Me.
Yeah. Lily, you're not strong enough to wield a crossbow.
You ever?
Someone's
I'm gonna
get
cast
another-
hold person on him.
To be fair, you're actually not. You could use the light crossbow.
Oh, I could
not the heavy
absolutely
one.
have been wrong.
But roll a wisdom saving throw.
Me or him?
He said he's casting hold
I'm
person.
casting hold person on you, and I'm taking one of them.
Good. That's not good. That's 10.
I just
Yeah,
watched
that's a
Lily.
fail.
I just watched Lily
See-
mutter the spell, and I'm like,
You see Korak. You feel your muscles tighten, and no matter how hard you try, you can't move.
Am I near
He's,
Fenrir?
he's holding him, right?
Fenrir's still sleeping.
Okay.
He's holding him, right?
No, he didn't pick up either of them. They're just still lying on the ground.
Alright, I'm gonna walk up. Is there a light one that I can
There's a light crossbow and a heavy crossbow.
I'm gonna pick up the light one and say, "Oh, looks like you're not strong enough."
Lily, please. You shouldn't use magic so lightly.
Can I
How
use
long
a
does
light
that spell
crossbow?
last?
You can. You're not proficient with them, but you can.
I don't give a shit. I'm keeping it.
How long does that spell last?
It's concentration up to a minute.
1 minute.
And he gets to make a saving throw every round, correct?
Every
Yeah.
6 seconds?
Yep.
Oh, shit. Let's do this.
you probably get like 2 or 3 before she gets the crossbow, right?
Oh, that's a natural 20.
Okay, so as you're bending down to kind of pick up the crossbow and you turn to start looking towards him, you see the Korak is just turning to look in your direction.
Well, let me mark off my whole person.
Let me mark off Blight next.
So wait, does he already have it in his hand? What's the,
I have it in my hand.
He has it in his hand.
As he turns around, oh, I'm strong. Oh.
And I'm gonna
Shit.
grab it and I'm not gonna like rip it out of his hands.
Invisibility.
I will gladly pick it up with him, still attached to it.
Okay, so
I wanted to cast invisibility like as soon as I saw he wasn't under.
Well,
my
maybe you
whole
should have
person.
said that then. I don't know.
as you kind of bend down to pick it up, he bends down and picks you up and holds you up with it, and you see him disappear, and now you're still just holding the crossbow.
I wanted the crossbow.
This is a really heavy crossbow.
You're still holding on to it. You can
I'm
still
gonna
feel
reach
the
out.
weight of Lily.
I'm gonna reach out with my other hand and try to tickle Lily where she was.
Lily, make a Constitution saving throw.
A tickle resist.
This is literally what we're doing now.
This is D&D.
Constitution. I don't have Constitution. That's a 12.
Yes.
Can I use
Wait,
luck?
do I have a
You
DC?
can if you want.
Are you proficient in tickling?
I don't know. I have no
Do
idea.
you want to use your luck?
Let's use some luck. Why not?
I really hope we don't get into combat again today.
Oh shit!
Is that a natural one?
No, it's a 2.
My vision is
So I had a
just not
12.
good.
Okay, make a sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand. I'm
I'm
alright with
running out
that.
of room to write shit on this paper.
Didn't we give you a
14.
new one?
14. Lily, you reach out your fingers and you start. Lily, you try your best. You start to hear the slight giggle
I
underneath
giggle,
it. She
and then I drop.
starts laughing. And she drops down to the ground. You're still holding the crossbow. As the crossbow is now visible in your hand.
Here, Lily, you can have it, and I'll throw it at her feet. Not like violently, just like.
But you can't see her, so it hits her in the head.
I thought the hit on the ground would have knocked her.
No,
No,
keep it going,
you're only
keep it
holding her
going.
like a couple feet above
Yeah,
where
no,
she's
I just
standing.
thought.
But you just kind of go to throw it, and it just hits her in the head.
So what happens if I use a weapon I'm not proficient with?
You just add the modifier that it requires.
Yeah, you
so
don't-
you would just it's just a D20 plus your dexterity.
Alright, fuck it, I'll do that. I'll keep it. I can finally erase this parrying dagger that I'll probably never replace.
Um,
How many bolts do I get?
You get 20. Oh, wait. Is anyone else using one of the crossbows?
I use a crossbow, but
Do you want it? If no one else wants it, we can give Lily.
I don't think I can
Oh,
use a
40
heavy
bolts.
crossbow.
well, it's one
Oh, it's a
quiver holds 20.
Okay, it's 20 volt quiver. So, didn't Fenrir want? No, he wanted a bow.
It doesn't. He can.
I mean, if someone else is better equipped for it, take it, because I
We'll
don't
mark
No,
it.
there's a light one and a
We'll
heavy
mark
one.
that he picks up the heavy crossbow.
Okay.
And he's not proficient.
We'll
with
just
either,
keep it
so.
in the slowly growing armory that
Is the cart that's not with us.
we.
In
Oh, we
reality.
don't have a cart with us. Oh, that's right, we don't.
Korak, how many javelins do you have left now that you...
I was only able to salvage one, so I have 2 left.
If
Oh,
you
it's
ever,
not like
next
Super
time we're in
Smash
town,
Bros.
if you want to buy
That's
some,
right.
I have a magic quiver that can hold up to 18 of them, so I could carry some extra ones for you if you run out.
Well, all right then. That we shall do.
Sounds like a plan.
So,
So I'm gonna hold on to this crossbow then, I guess.
all right.
Write it down. Light crossbow.
So, as you guys finish laying down for your night of rest, you all awake the next morning and taking a moment. You guys normally leave this to Lune. You walk over and shake Fenrir. Oh shit. Huh. Lune, come on, just pick me up. Come on. And you see his eye kind of open up a little bit more.
Wake up, you dullard.
Wait, so did we actually finish our long rest then?
Yeah, you guys finished the rest of your night's sleep. You can just kind of stand up.
And Fenrir finished a super long rest.
Fenrir's not particularly happy about the whole situation.
Unearthed
Why didn't you wake me up, eh?
Everybody else woke up when I yelled that we were under attack.
Well, I'm very sleepy.
You should probably see somebody about that. You could have like sleep apnea or narcolepsy.
Sleep apnea was a big problem back then.
I'm really strong.
Alright, guys.
Taking 10 minutes, he resummons Lune. She reappears and still just kind of leaving the armor off of her. He still has in the bag of holding, resaddles her, and
Still, though, I am worried about those two that trailed off. Those guys, they seemed really tough. Tougher than just average bandits.
Well, at least this one did, and I kind of pointed at the one that's the big dude that's on the ground.
Just if those other two were part of some other organization or something, they know about us.
Well, this one looks like he was ex-military, so perhaps they all ex-military, just trying to, they turned to banditry to make a living, possibly.
Did you check any of
Hopefully.
the corpses?
Not for any symbols or anything. I just found gold on them.
I just hope we don't have some.
The other people, I guess I didn't really take time to clarify this. The other ones that were there, they were younger, more like in their like mid-20s, and you don't see any signs of military training.
I bet you this one was the leader of a small group.
Oh, well, I hope it was a larger group. Perhaps next time they'll send stronger men with better weapons.
I would sincerely hope not.
I would
I'd rather
sincerely
not.
hope so.
Depending on whose watch it is, I suppose.
Maybe next time we'll wake Fenrir up.
Maybe Fenrir will wake up next time.
But if we wake Fenrir up, then none of us.
I'm
will
really
get
strong.
The rest of us will
Really
die.
strong and really sleepy.
Also, are we
I
going
think-
to put them to rest?
I don't believe we have time to do so.
Simple question.
Except for maybe by 5.
We should always burn the bodies.
We could burn them.
Aren't we in the middle of a field?
What's that?
Aren't we in the middle of a field? Although
There
we
is
do have a
That
cleared
didn't,
out space.
That didn't stop a bear from raining hellfire down upon
Yes,
us.
we'll
It wasn't
I don't-
hellfire.
I was
It was
gonna
divine
say.
fire.
I believe Oban would be the best to do so anyways, just given the nature of things.
Yes, let's hastily put them at least to rest, I suppose.
Absolutely.
Fair enough.
So you guys kind of gather up the
Set
three
up some of
bodies.
my incense. Get the full thing going.
Are you guys like cutting down trees?
Oh, I have nothing to do with it. I was just suggesting.
I am quite literally only interested in piling up bodies and lighting them on fire.
Right, but with what like fuel or kindling?
Their clothing,
Flame strike.
their flesh,
Fireball.
magic.
Fire.
The fireball will definitely light the rest of the people.
Just it lights everything on fire. I suppose we didn't think about the fact that we need kindling to start a fire, did we?
Right, so let's move on.
Yes.
Fuck these guys.
Having the three.
I just write like a.
Was everyone okay with
I pull out a little, like, rip out like a little
Okay.
piece of paper from like a scroll or something, and I just kind of just write
I'm not
horse
having a moral
thieves, and I kind of
crisis
just lay it on top of them and stab an arrow into it.
I
So
love that.
anybody coming by can see it.
That's a great fucking idea.
So, seeing that, you thump it into the chest of the guy that you took the armor from, and the 6 of you continue on.
I'll still set up a few incense things and
Okay.
let that.
And you take a moment with this with the coming morning. It's kind of overcast. You can kind of hear in the distant rumbling of thunder. But as you take a moment, light your incense, say your prayer, and with that, you and your group continue on. You travel the next 4 days, pretty uneventfully. You occasionally see people out reaping what's left of the rest of their crop, clearing out their fields of anything of any type of food that they can salvage and keep for the long coming winter. A couple days later, you guys come to and you see ahead of you, and you hear it first, but you hear the sound of running water. As you come to it, you see a large, wide river running from, it would be east to west, running somewhat south, past where you guys are, back in the direction towards Nark, in the direction you guys came from. The river's about, like I said, about 150 feet across, and you can see in the distance, probably maybe another half day's travel, the distant sight of a large forest. Lily, taking the time to cast water walking on the horses. Everybody roll me d20s with advantage.
Any modifier?
Just roll me d20.
That was 7.
17.
11. 15.
9.
As you guys are going to cross the river again, it's kind of getting to this bad time of year. It's very heavily overcast. There's heavy winds. The river, you can actually see, gets white caps a little bit from with the blowing wind and the river going. But as you guys are casting water walking and crossing the river again, you can see that the waves actually, even with the water walking, still splash up against the horses. It manages to get you guys wet. There are some times that the caps hit and actually hit against the side of the horse. Zarn, at one point, your horse almost gets taken completely over into the water with it. But the horse, being a strong horse, still manages to kind of rectify itself in the process of it, and you guys manage to successfully cross the river.
At the shore of the river, can I take just a minute to gather about 20 just little rocks, just like little stones like that big, and just kind of put them in a little sack?
Sure.
I'm gonna do that real quick. Just
Sure. Yeah, you gather up a set of stones. Along the river here, they are particularly like a
Smooth river rock.
yeah, they're smooth river rock. It's kind of like a dark gray, almost black. And you gather up a dozen, 2 dozen, and throw them in a little coin sack and
You
throw it
still
in
have
your bag.
magic stone, Lily?
Continuing on, you guys get to, and you start to see where it was talking about before, where there are the two reaching arms of the forest of the dragonwood that you can see here, and you guys keeping the two arms on your left and right, continuing to travel north. Towards the end of that day that you guys cross the river, you guys see in the distance, kind of as it's getting closer to dusk, a small lodge up against the edge of the forest, and you can see smoke rising from the chimney and lights glowing from the window. What do you guys do?
I'm trying to find information about magic stone.
Was the
I have.
is it just the lodge by itself? How big does it look like?
I mean, it looks like a small hunting lodge, like maybe three or four people could probably sleep in it comfortably. I mean, it doesn't look like an overly large. It looks like it is just a temporary hunting lodge, a place for people to, kind of like just a central location for people to hunt into the forest.
The direction that the bandits, horse thieves, came from, is that the direction that we ended up traveling towards?
No, so you guys were traveling north. They came from more a southeast direction from where you guys you guys are going this way, and they came from this direction and intersected, and you guys continued traveling north.
Gotcha.
So we're at some lodging area, and we're not sure if we want to stay there.
I mean, we really have no reason to stop.
I mean, it's dark out. It's getting close to night, so you guys can either try to stay at the lodge, or you guys can make camp and then continue from there. What do you guys want to do?
It looks abandoned, you said.
No, you see that there is lights coming from the window and smoke rising from the chimney.
The people here, they could know what's going on in the mine. This is very close.
It's very true. Is there a lot of foot traffic around the area? Does it seem like, I don't know, it's kind of dark?
Roll a survival check.
Survival is a 9.
Um, 9. It's kind of dark out. I mean, with your dark vision, you can kind of see that there is some foot travel, but it doesn't. You can't really get an idea of like how much it is. It doesn't look like it's particularly worn. There's no path leading up to this.
Well, I don't see any reason not to approach and possibly greet them.
Or at least let them know that we're not a bunch of bandits staying in the woods around them, even if we decide not to stay here.
Yes.
As you kind of ride up towards the cabin, you all hop down from your horses. You can see that there is a place to tie the horses up, as well as a trough for them to drink water at. And leaving Lune and the horses out there, you all go towards the front door of the cabin. Just walking in, knocking.
Knock on it.
Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Make a perception check.
All of us?
He's the one knocking.
I got a 9.
9. You hear a bit of shuffling around inside, and a moment passes, and you hear the sound of a few locks being undone. The door creaks open a little bit, and you see one eye with like just a small part of his face. Looks like a human male. You can see there's like a lot of like wild hair kind of coming out to the side, like almost kind of coming over and masking the front of his face, and you can see one wide yellowish eye looking at you. What do you want?
Oh, we were just passing through and looking for a place to sleep for the night. Just if you don't want us here, we're just going to let you know that we're not bandits sleeping in the area.
Roll persuasion check.
That is a 28.
I was gonna say.
28.
Zon the Bard. Sneaky taco.
And you see just kind of step back, and the door opens up a little bit wider. You can see standing in front of you, large, almost about, I don't know, because you're kind of short for
I'm a little short.
Yeah. Probably standing around 6'5"-ish, a large, kind of burly man with very like long, wild hair, beard that's just as unkept as well. You can see just kind of wearing loose rags around on him, and you can see that he is holding, and he kind of showing it more fully now. You can see that he's holding a hand axe that he had kind of hidden behind the door. And as he kind of steps back, you can see those. You can see like his eyes a little bit more fully wider and like a little bit larger than what you would normally see. There, it's hard not to notice it and like be drawn to it. You can kind of see that the eyes, the pupils aren't round; they're more almost cat-like. And you can see that as he just kind of looks towards you. All right, come on in, find yourself a seat by the fire. And you can see as he talks, kind of like pointed, like jagged yellow teeth. Not half orc, but just you can see just hair just kind of all over him as he kind kind of gesture for you guys all to go in. He goes over and he sits in an armchair that he pulls a little bit closer to the fire. Take a look around. You can see it's a small cabin. It looks as if it's, like I said before, built for maybe 2, maybe 3 people to be staying here at any given point. Single room with just like one small bathroom off to the side. You can see there's like a small little kitchen area, a table where you can see leather armor kind of laid out. It looks as if that he kind of laid it out there to dry. You can see a small campfire there, and you can see above the mantle a set of pristine, almost ivory antlers. Go ahead and make religion checks.
If there's one thing, Cora.
Just those 2.
They're the only 2 that are proficient in religion.
You're rolling it anyways. Oh, it's a good roll.
Oh, dude.
What did you roll?
18.
18? Okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
No, I mean, you would be the one other person that this might apply to, actually.
27.
Oh, 21.
Okay. So, the 3 of you know that it is kind of like taking a look up at them. The antlers don't look like that they're actual antlers. They look more of like replica. It's the holy symbol of Balinor, the sovereign of Horn and Hunt amongst the sovereign host.
Sovereign of Horn and Hunt.
where's Brian?
And you see as he kind of steps over to the fire, he kind of lifts off the lid off a small pot. Go on, go over to the kitchen and get yourself some bowls. I'm cooking up some food.
Oh, wonderful.
Would you like me to prepare some tea?
Tea's not my speed, but sure, I guess I'll have a little bit. It's been a while since I've drank something particularly warm. And so you go over, you guys get your bowls, and you see that he takes some time and ladles out some stew. You can see that there's some meat and some vegetables in it. You all just eat some of it, and it tastes good. It's a little bit bland, but as he just doesn't really seem
I
to.
miss prestidigitation so much.
It's my favorite style.
I said I miss prestidigitation
Yeah,
so
I was
much.
gonna ask, is there a way to insight check to make sure this guy is genuine?
Yeah,
Sure.
it's
Make
called
an
an
insight
insight check.
That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's gonna be close. 17.
17.
What?
Oh, I got a...
insight is plus 10?
No. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. 14. My
14.
bad.
Okay. So
I don't know why.
It's like
That's
see that
Either way, that's pretty high.
he as he kind of sat, he's kind of turned his chair to like kind of have his back to the wall and kind of keep all of you in sight. And he seems on edge. He doesn't seem like aggressive. He just seems more just weary. Yeah, and you can see that his hand axe is at reach at any given point.
It could just be simply because we're a random group of people.
What's your name?
Confer.
Confer. I'm Zarnathor. These are my companions. Collectively, we're known as Nocturnum.
Nice to meet all of you.
That's Fenrir over there.
You may have heard of it. Have you been to church or?
Church.
Yes, church.
The Church of
Do I
Fenrir.
look like somebody that goes to church?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what you look like. Do I look like someone who would go to church? Because I've been.
You don't look like it.
That's what I thought.
We're gonna have another fight.
Don't mind him. He's a bit of. He's a very colorful imagination.
don't mind these mansplainers.
God, yes. Keep it running.
Oh, Barry's such a mansplainer. I can't even
He
express.
kind of taking a last
Let
slurp
me
of
handle
his
this.
stew. He kind of sets it down and kind of stretches a little bit. You can see that he's he kind of reaches over and picks up like a small wooden like pointed tool, and you can see that he starts scraping at. He has kind of like long pointed nails. You can kind of see that he's like scraping dirt out from underneath him. And I'm sorry, what was your question?
I asked him, are you a hunter in the area?
Well, if I wasn't, I wouldn't be here. I can't really go anywhere else. So yes, to answer your question, I am a hunter. in this area. I spend some of my time here in the cabin, but mostly try to avoid it when people from the cabin come, or visitors. Not really appreciate it anymore.
It's a shame. We're here to. We were contracted to clear out something that has appeared in the mine that's close to here. Do you know anything about that?
No. I don't know what's in that mine, but I'm glad that whatever was in there stopped them from mining. They started digging around in there, and ever since then, all the wildlife's been fucked up. Everything's going further away, out to go further into the forest to hunt. It's gonna make this winter very difficult.
Well, that could possibly have been caused by whatever was down there. It's been released now.
Everything that's been in the forest started going away when they started digging things up and blowing up holes in the earth.
That makes sense.
Well, in that case, perhaps we won't stop. Whatever's going on.
I'd really appreciate it if you made sure the mine didn't open up again until after winter.
Well, that's... Yes, that's indeed.
Can they continue to mine during winter?
I've only got about 2 weeks. If they don't have operations going when the winter comes, they're not going to start after first snowfall.
Considering how far away it is from the city, I don't think it'd be able, even if we do
Even if we do clear it out, we just need to be back there before winter starts. So if we come in a couple of days before winter, they won't have time to get the operations started.
They won't know,
Yeah.
and then they won't be able to transport all of their equipment. It doesn't look like that mine's going to be open anytime soon.
Kind of looks around at all of you.
Huh. Are any of you actually from Narc?
We're actually not.
We're not. Most of us are from up north.
I guess it's my lucky day then. Well, I guess if you can make sure that they don't get word to open up the mine again, it would certainly make my winter a lot easier.
Do you need to hunt during the winter?
It's the only choice I have. People won't trade with my kind.
What is your kind? I don't think I recognize it.
We don't really have a specific name that we call ourselves, but from my understanding, people from big city call us shifters. Descendants of werewolves, lycanthropes.
And you kind of see that as he's doing that, you can kind of see and understand that a little bit more. And kind of taking in, you can kind of see that there is like this slightly more jutting face that wasn't particularly obvious, and you can kind of see that you start to see that a little bit more as he's just kind of talking to you guys.
Ever since we tried to fight, we aren't allowed to trade, killed on sight. That's why I try not to stay in the lodge too much, but the weather's just been so bad lately I needed to get out, get warm for a change.
Were the shifters part of the rebellion?
Part of it. More caught in the crossfire than anything else. Some more of the anxious and pure blood lycanthropes that were amongst the tribes. Wanted to see to it that we were able to actually hunt and weren't driven away. And then there was churchgoers, that you were talking about before, came in droves. Fire, silver, and blood drove us away. Broke up the tribes. There's not a lot of us left anymore.
Strange question. Lily or Albert, do you have any spells that could possibly grow him extra food? Create food for him? Help him get through the winter a little easier?
Nothing that'll last. We could just create food.
As long as the mine doesn't open up again before winter, I think most of the animals that will be settling down weren't too far away. I'll still be able to find them. I'm not going to have to go days into the forest to try to find them.
Well, we can assure you this time the mines will not open.
Well, appreciate that. It's nice to get a little break every once in a while. As he's kind of talking to everyone, his eyes keep kind of shifting back to you.
He's a shifter.
And that's a walk-off. Session's over. Troy wins.
Okay, so he keeps on looking over at Lily.
His eyes shift there.
I'm not gonna notice. I'm gonna choose that Lily doesn't notice.
Have you eaten this evening?
We're eating his food right
He
now.
goes over and makes himself a second bowl of stew.
He about to be eaten out.
Or maybe
So we don't have it.
Do we have? Yes, I
It's a
mean,
weird conversation.
It is.
I don't believe we had to. I don't think part of our contract was for the mine to be open. It was just that we needed to have word that it was cleared by the end of winter, or by the beginning of winter, rather.
Correct. Is this a conversation we're having in front of him?
Yeah.
Or is this...
There's not really anywhere else to have the conversation.
So we are having this conversation.
Mhm.
Okay.
So I don't think there's any issue with that.
Yeah, just going to see what happened with the mine and try to correct it.
Well, what's the... Okay, so let's say we don't have them open it before winter. How long does winter last again?
6 months.
Well, what about the next winter then? When they do reopen the mine, what are you gonna do then?
He says, if I can make it through the winter, I can't go too far from here. I won't make it far enough to find another good hunting ground. If I can make it till spring, I can make my way further west. Find a better place away from the scum.
That's fair.
Do I know, like, have I ever seen a shifter anywhere but here, like up north or anything?
Make a...
I forget it. What was his
Roll
name
me-
again?
roll me
What, Gunther?
d20. Confer.
Confer.
I wish it was Gunther.
That's not.
Right? You've never really seen a shifter before.
There's no... I hate to ask right after that, like, is there any... Can I do, like, an intelligence check? Like, have I ever fucking heard of this species?
Nope.
Make a nature check because you're proficient.
Battery is near empty. Time to recharge.
Oh, okay.
Luckily,
Good to know.
Oh.
it's dead.
Confer's battery just died.
Alright. I'm going to choose to use luck just to see if I can roll higher.
Okay.
And I did roll higher. So, that was a nature check. I'm actually not proficient in nature.
Oh well, then never mind.
19.
If you're not proficient, then we don't get a second roll.
Then I had a 17 the first roll.
No, he means...
No, I mean
First person
because he
roll.
tried to do that. I thought you were proficient with it, which is why I was going to allow it.
What
As
the
you're sitting there
And
trying
we're
to think
gonna
about
end
it.
there.
Now, as you're sitting there trying to think about it, you see him suddenly, very quickly, like in like just almost a blink of an eye, just very, very quickly, sets down the bowl, takes 4 steps across the room, goes over to you, and grabs you by the ear and pulls at it, kind of lifts you up.
And I'm gonna step over and pull out my sword here.
And he just kind of he drops it, and as you pull out your sword, he immediately shifts back and pulls out the axe, and you see him just baring his fangs.
Whoa, whoa.
We're not going to have any more problems, are we?
We didn't have any problems to begin with. I thought you said you didn't have any shifters with you.
Keep your hands off.
As soon as he would make a move at me, I'm gonna cast Blight on him.
Wait, what?
I'm in defense mode now!
Wait,
He just attacked me! As soon as he would actually make like an attempt to grab me again.
Okay, I see.
Or maybe not blight, fucking hold person. We'll go with that.
You called blight, man.
Oh, you mean if he comes after you again?
Yeah, other people have changed shit. Like, oh wait, let me.
No, I don't know. I thought you meant like the first time, or you meant
No.
the second time.
No, like he dropped me. If he goes to grab me again,
I thought you were saying like,
Prepared
oh, he
action.
grabbed me, blight.
No.
Like, that's what I thought you were saying.
no, he grabbed me. He drew his weapon. He let me go. If he goes to grab me again, I'm gonna
Okay,
cast
so you
hold
said like
person.
prepared. Okay, no. He just. I thought you said you didn't have any shifters with you.
She's not a shifter. She's a druid.
A halfling.
Yeah, but there's no
Yeah, druid's not a race.
a halfling druid.
You didn't have to say race.
I actually don't know why you have ears. I've never really asked you before.
Well, we can all sit
I
down.
don't really want to
Yes,
talk
there's
about
no
it.
there's no need to fight here.
Please,
I don't
you
really want to.
might put your weapon away. Korak,
I'm
please.
going to noticeably.
My mom got
Put my
really
weapon
freaky
away.
with a fox.
Make a persuasion check.
Ooh. Sleight of hand check to slightly.
That's
put
not a
ears away.
D20.
Really? Is
That's
your
a-
father a kitsune?
Say sleight of hand. 12.
It's got
12.
Because let's be real here. Look how weak
You said,
he is.
I said sleight of hand.
course.
He
Oh, what
said
did he
something
say?
else.
He's.
Did you say sleight of hand?
No, I didn't say sleight of hand.
He said sleight of hand.
Yeah,
What did you
he's being
say?
a fucking idiot.
Well, no, but I
Persuasion. Persuasion.
Persuasion?
Yeah.
That's probably a 9 then. Yeah, it's a 9.
Shit.
9?
Back to sleight of hand.
You see him just kind of step. He kind of like crawls back up into his chair, and instead of like just sitting more like normally, you see that he just kind of sits in like a crouch position and just kind of sits with his axe in his lap, and he just grabs his bowl and is just keeping a much more focused gaze on all of you, and just.
What's wrong, sir?
I mean,
I don't really want to stay here.
Just eating.
Is this?
Is there...
Do you consider her this shifter? Is that what you're asking?
I've only ever seen lycanthropes and shifters that have animal ears when they're walking around as humans.
Is there a way to know?
Yeah, stab her with silver.
Well, we're certainly not going to do that.
And I don't know any other way to check.
I think I'm gonna go outside.
He sets the bowl down. He goes over to the table where he had his leather armor, and kind of over into the corner. He kind of pulls together some blankets. And he just kind of curls up on the ground, almost like a dog. Just kind of curls up in the corner and just kind of lays there, and he's just keeping his eyes on all of you. He's just kind of laying down. A few minutes pass, and you just see.
Weird.
You hear the slow, gentle breathing. She's falling asleep.
I'm gonna step outside. You went outside?
Yeah,
she gets
I
outside.
would've.
I'm following her too.
I would have.
Yeah, I'll follow you.
So the three of you step outside.
You okay, Lily?
No.
Do you don't like when people touch your ears?
No. I'm pouting.
And with your pouting, we'll go ahead and end tonight's session. Guys, for those of you that tuned in and are still here, thank you guys for watching. We hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give us a follow. Send a message in the chat. We'll be able to see it. Send us a message. We also have Twitter and Facebook to say and announce anything if something happens with our stream, where we'll also post the link for our YouTube videos as we post them. Facebook and Twitter, the URL for it is Twitter or Facebook.com/rollerperspective. You should also be able to find there the link to our YouTube channel. If you decide to go there and look, give us a follow. We hope you guys enjoyed tonight's session, and we will see you guys next Wednesday.
You on the flip side.
I almost killed another person.
Very close.